production of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
1 week remains in the regular season. 7 games to determine a fate. The push for the playoffs continues now. Well, with 1 week to go, the path to the playoffs really quite simple for the Tigers. Win as many games as you can. The Tigers right now a game and a half behind Baltimore for the second wild card position. Indians trying to win the Central outright, but they win tonight. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson. Glad to have you with us here for what should be a really fun 4 nights here at Comerica Park. And Gibby, really for the Tigers, they just have to win games.
They do, especially win tonight. They're back a game and a half, so if you win tonight, you're at a game. They made it hard on themselves, absolutely. And they've got to beat a team they haven't beat all year, only 2-13 against the Indians. The 87 Tigers did it. They were 2.5 out with a week to go. They came back, and let's look at the schedules. The Blue Jays, they're meeting the Orioles not tonight, but they start tomorrow. You get a sweep in there, that tightens things up as well. Baltimore's in that series. The Mariners, they're sneaky too. They got 3 at the Astros and 4 at the Athletics. You got to watch them. So it's a lot can happen. People don't think that things look good after you lose a couple games, but if you win tonight, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself. The Tigers only a game and a half out. Certainly doable if they win and play well here tonight.
And they'll try and do it beginning here this evening against a really tough pitcher, one of the best in the second half in the American League, and that would be Corey Kluber. Buck Farmer, a tough assignment tonight.
Well, it is. It's Buck Farmer, really. He's pitched a couple of good games, one in relief for the Tigers and one in rain out. But he's getting the start tonight. And here's a kid who debuted in 2014 when Corey Kluber won the Cy Young and was an all-star. So I call this a reverse lock. You'd think, well, Farmer has no chance, but it just doesn't work out that way. Kluber's in his 6th year, 9-1 since the all-star break, 7-1 after a Tribe loss. But the Tribe have lost 2 games. Good opportunity for the Tigers and Buck Farmer to prove that they can play too.
All right, let's see how the Tigers do here tonight. Game 1 in the series coming up against the Indians. Let's play ball here at the ballpark. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios. Check in with Mickey York. Tribe trying to celebrate a division title tonight at the Tigers Field. The Tigers have different ideas. Tigers Tribe. Game 1 coming up next. Tonight at Comerica Park, Tigers and Indians squaring off in game 1 in this series, and the Indians tonight will face the right-handed offerings of Buck Farmer. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Yeah, Buck making his first start for the Tigers tonight this year. 20 starts down in AAA. This is his 13th game for the Tigers. It's his biggest start of his young major league career. You see the games there, 13. 25 strikeouts, 16 walks. A little shaky. He gets a little hyped up earlier in these games, but as of late, he's taught himself how to settle down. He's got pretty good stuff.
Here's the starting lineup he will face tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Santana, Kipnis, and Lindor in the top 3 spots. Napoli, Ramirez, Chisenhall, and a bottom 3 of the veteran Crisp, Naquin, and then Roberto Perez. Ramirez has been hot, the top of the lineup, very good for the Cleveland Indians. And here is Santana to lead it off, and here we go. First pitch of the ball game is a ball inside to Carlos Santana. .255 hitter this year is Santana. 34 homers. That is a career high. And there's the shift that they employ defensively. The 1-0 sails inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Buck, when he comes out, he usually misses. He yanks it, comes glove side, and he's going to learn to make the correction. In the game that he started in Minnesota and that got rained out, he started early, shaky, but then settled down and threw the ball very well.
And a couple of walks in that first inning that got washed away because of the rain. There's a strike on the outer edge.
Like right there, you watch James McCann slid over to the other side of the plate to try and get him to correct that.
Farmer walked the first 2 batters in that washed away start, but then he got the next 3, 2 of them via the strikeout. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and Santana looks at a ball outside, 3-1.
That's a good eye right there. Santana ahead in the count. Most would offer at that as well pitched changeup, but Santana is very good at getting walks. He's got a good eye and laid off it. 3-1 count.
He's always been that way, always among the league leaders in walks. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate, 3-2.
Looks like he might have got away with a little call right there, but that's a nice pitch. Ran back on the corner of the plate.
Santana followed by Kipnis and then Lindor. Top 3 in the lineup for Terry Francona. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 1 gone. First strikeout for Buck Farmer.
Well, Buck comes back right here as a heater. Looks like Santana looking for something off speed that blows it right by him. Let's look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Beaumont Health. Jay up again in left field. Cam Maben in center. J.D. Martinez rounds out in right field. Eric Ibar, no errors in 10 games for the Tigers at third. Iglesias and Kinsler up the middle. Miggy at first.
Kipnis hits one in the air to shallow left center field, up in a long run. He'll get there, and there are 2 gone.
Boys are working fast tonight. Couldn't get it in, huh?
That's right.
James McCann is catching, by the way.
There we go. That completes the defensive alignment. So good start for Farmer. 2 gone. Here is Francisco Lindor.
Good looking young player going through a little trouble right now. Let's hope it stays that way. He's not had a hit in a while.
302 though, even though he hasn't had a hit in 35 at bats. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate. Oh for 25 actually for Lindor. Oh for his last 33 plate appearances. So he was hitting in the 320 range, and that average now down closer to 300. There's a strike called, and the count 0-2 on Lindor.
Now look at Tripp Gibson, the home plate umpire. Already this game, this plate is pretty wide, so you're going to have to learn that as a hitter. It does not mean you expand early. You just have to take note if you get 2 strikes. You're going to have to protect that pitch just off the plate.
Fouled out of play. Lindor 14 homers, leads the team in hits, and he quickly has rounded into one of the top talents at his position in the American League and really all of baseball. Former first-round pick. Pulls this one on the ground right at Cabrera, and Buck Farmer will have a 1-2-3 11 pitch first inning. The bottom of the first in a scoreless game, and Ian Kinsler gets things started. Their starting lineup tonight presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler, Maben, and Miguel Cabrera, who's had good numbers against Kluber in his career. Victor DHing, JD in right. Upton in left. In your bottom three is Ibar, McCann, and Jose Iglesias. And they are facing the right-handed offerings of Mr. Corey Kluber.
30-year-old making his 32nd start tonight. 3-0 versus the Tigers this year. 24 innings hit, only 5 runs. Throws a fastball, cutter, curveball, and change. He's got good stuff. Ball moves. He knows how to use it. 18-9. You see the record. Well qualified for the Tigers to beat tonight.
Tigers got him for 4 runs the last time they saw him in Cleveland. He went a total of 7 innings in that game, but the Tigers lost 11-4. Kinsler gets it started. And Ian looks at ball 1 outside.
The Tigers only have 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup with the switch hitters, and probably going to see him work most of the righties away.
What a series it was for Kinsler. And the one just completed against Kansas City, he was 8 for 13 and scored 5 times.
Set the table for those second, third, fourth hitters.
And his table setting skills will be needed again here in this series. And he'll dive low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kluber out of Jacksonville, Florida, 30 years of age. He goes 6'4", 215. High fly ball center field. Tyler Naquin is under it. 1 gone. Here's the Bernstein advantage as Maben comes to the plate. The batting average at home for the Tigers last 75 seasons. Maben's done his best work here at home.
You can see a 386. Mags had a pretty good one back there in 2007. Now you were saying Roy Cullenbine was a heck of a player. I didn't know him. Now how would you know that?
Well, I just made a generalization. He had 378 at home one year, so he had to be pretty good.
You like the name too?
I like the name, yeah.
George Kell was on there.
And he was really good. We all knew that.
Love to listen to him telecast the game. He hit it a mile.
George is one of the best, man. That southern drawl was just awesome. Here's the 1-0. There's a strike call. He hit it right at him. There were so many George Kelsums. 1 ball, 1 strike on Maben, trying to get things started here in the first inning. There's a strike on the outer edge, 1-2.
You can see Kluber already. His fastball's been 90 to 95. Just gets the ball, throws it, knows what he wants to do with it, moving it all around. All those pitches come out looking the same. And fastball away here.
Ooh, swing and a miss. He got him to chase with a flat-footed swing.
Let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians starting defense. Coco Crisp in left field, Tyler Naquin in center, Chisenhall in right, Jose Ramirez at third base, Lindor and Kipnis up the middle, Mike Napoli at first base with Roberto Perez catching Corey Kluber tonight for the Indians. Now, did you see Perez put his glove and hit it to the ground there right before? And he's trying to deke Maben to think that that's going to be a breaking ball. Then he threw the fastball in the outside corner.
Did not go, said first base umpire Dan Bellino.
Sharp breaker there. See how quick it goes. It's not rolling. Very sharp. Hard to pick up until it's too late.
Line back out of play, 1-1. Cabrera hit a ball last night or yesterday to end the ball game. It was flared out to left center field that Gordon made a diving catch on. That ended the game. The Tigers were threatening, and Miggy was the tying run up there with 2 outs in the 9th, but they finally retired him to end that ball game. Tough loss yesterday for the Tigers.
Well, they all are at this point in the season because you know the stakes are much higher. You're down to your last week of ball games. But you got to pick yourself up. Win tonight, you feel a lot better.
I will say this, and Brad was talking about this yesterday, how his team really responded after falling behind 7-0. That's usually a case where you might fold the tent, but the Tigers came back and scored 9 times in that game.
They did. They battled. I think the pitching in the bullpen got caught off guard a little bit yesterday. Nobody expected Matt Boyd not to get an out. And Kansas City, let's face it, they were pretty good themselves.
Cabrera goes down on strikes, and Kluber has a 1-2-3 first.
Talking about Wednesday in Minneapolis, the game that never happened, but Buck Farmer started it, struggled early, didn't have any control at all, then really settled in. This is what Brad Ausmus and his coaching staff like to see. Settled right down, throwing the ball, hitting all of his spots. You can see good life on that fastball. Then the rains came. This game got rained out. They sat around, and then you guys had the wonderful day-night doubleheader the next day and won them both.
That was fun, man. When you win a doubleheader, it's an awesome day. You can put up with a long afternoon of baseball and started in the morning and then ended at night. It was good.
Thinking about you. Those day-nighters are extra fun, aren't they?
When you win, they are. Now, if you lose a pair, it's a long day.
Yeah, it is long. I mean, back-to-backs a lot easier to work for sure, or play in, than the day-night.
Mike Napoli leading it off here. It'll be Napoli, Ramirez, Chisenhall in the top of the second. No score.
pretty much straight up for Mike so far, but they do play to him to pull generally. You can see Iglesias is over a little bit.
Look for Upton's playing.
Jap's back there, out there talking to the pitching staff right now. Make sure they're ready. They're not going to have him. We need him early. They're going to have him awake.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3-1 now on Napoli, who has provided the Indians with a whole lot more than they probably expected. He has 100 RBIs.
And he's the leader, one of the big leaders of this team, I'm told. Kind of like Papa Bear, you know?
Absolutely. Ooh, big swing.
They have a lot of youngsters over there in this team that's coming up, and Mike Napoli's been around a while. Here's a guy that had a contract with the Boston Red Sox and then didn't have one. Remember, was it the bad hip?
The hip, correct.
He's been outstanding since then, wherever he's been.
The other thing that Napoli will bring to an organization and a team is postseason play. I mean, he's played in a lot of postseasons.
Yeah, you get him on the team, you're going. That's what that is.
7 different times he's been in postseason play.
That's like Lonnie Smith, isn't it? Lightning Lonnie Smith. You remember? Didn't he like 7 World Series?
I forgot about Lonnie.
Lightning Lonnie Smith.
3-2 on Napoli. And it's inside. He walked him.
Ooh, that was close. Good try.
1 on, nobody out. Here are the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. You can tell that fall is here. It is 65 degrees at game time, little humidity, and...
Is that right? Juicy? Is there an E in there?
No, I don't think so. I think you're right the first time.
It's nice and wet out there early in the game. Moist underneath. It's a good track. The dew's going to be on the grass later. Just got to...
Who would pick juicy?
I did.
That might be the last word I'd pick to describe tonight.
That's it. The atmosphere is outstanding. Come on. It's like juicy. It's like, that's like when you go to eat something, you know, it's like, it's a good stage tonight for a good ball game.
Cool.
That was my angle. His last pitch got away, pulled it a little bit.
How'd he get out of the way?
Trained to do so. When you're standing up there, you don't want to get hit. Good pick by McCann as well.
Ramirez at 316. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there. 1-1. Not sure the Indians expected to get what they got out of, or have gotten out of, Ramirez this year. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's been lights out with men in scoring position. 360. And his average is at a career best 316.
He's been unreal in the second half.
Again, the Indians trying to win the Central. They need just 1 win against the Tigers in this series to clinch. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball left side of the infield. They'll go to second one. Relay to first. Not in time. Well, Ramirez scooting down the line in a hurry. Iglesias got there, but not quick enough.
Yeah, I think Ian had trouble getting the ball in his glove, or Iggy did. You see, he got over kind of a tough hop. It was just good to get his glove on it, secure it, make sure he gets that first out. Kinsler with a good turn, but Iggy bobbled a little bit, but you got to make sure you get one, as they did. Ramirez likes to run a little bit. 22 bags on the year.
Here is Lonnie Chisenhall playing right field tonight for the Indians. Pretty good year for Chisenhall. 293, 56 driven in. He had some injuries early in the season. He too is a former high round draft choice. I thought perhaps he'd be the third baseman of the future. Has since moved to the outfield.
Likes that fastball. Not so much on the curve. Gonna have to pay attention to Ramirez over there.
Good matchup here with Ramirez at first and McCann behind the dish. And another toss. Foul back out of play. No balls and 1 strike on it. Lonnie Chisenhall.
He's talking about how Chisenhall likes the fastball. You got Ramirez in front of him who likes to steal. It's pretty good lineup construction right there. It's kind of why you design things certain ways throughout a lineup. Indians did a pretty good job with their base running. Take full advantage of what's available.
Well, Cleveland has had the league's best pitching. They've had some of the best base running as well in the American League, and those are 2 things that will certainly help you win ball games.
Well, the Tigers have been doing that. They've been running the bases well as of late, and they've benefited greatly because of it.
In the air towards center field, routine for Maben. That is out number 2, and Ramirez heads back to first. Here is the Chevy Silverado. Most dependable players. The Cleveland Indians, well, they can clinch the American League Central to win tonight, and it would be their first division title since the 07 team.
Of course, if you're a Tiger, you don't want them to celebrate on your own field. This kind of brings up an interesting topic about when you're celebrating on your opponent's field.
Yeah.
What are the guidelines that you do? Now, I was involved in kind of a notorious one in Arizona,
right,
with the Dodgers.
But there's no hot tub here.
Well, they went into the pool, but that was one thing. But what they did in the pool was another.
Well, I guess you should be allowed to celebrate. I'm going no further with that comment. I'm going to kind of steer the conversation away.
It's a true story. I mean, you know, Terry Francona, he's been around a long time, and I think that they probably talked about the, I guess, guidelines. But hey, you win it, you deserve it. Honestly, I felt like good pitch there. I felt like if we didn't want him to do it, we should have beat him.
Right.
You know?
Well, what would be going overboard? I mean, if you win a division and get into the postseason, celebrating is just a normal thing, regardless of the field, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought you said you didn't want to go there.
Well,
no, let's
take Comerica for.
I think
for
a good
example.
celebration is one thing, but you know, you usually take it in off the field and
do the crazy stuff inside. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and then you kind of celebrate in there. I think there's quite a few family members up from Cleveland tonight here in Comerica, so only to be disappointed.
We hope. 1 ball, 1 strike on Crisp. Little pitch out action there, and nothing doing. Big lead for Ramirez. Little pop up third base side, long run for Ibar, can't get there.
Well, Buck Farmer's doing a pretty good job. He's ultra quick to the plate. I've got him right around 1 second, maybe a little above, maybe a little below from pitch to pitch. And you want to be 1.3 or lower, so that's 0.3 of a second. Still, that he could be slower, and he's throwing strikes being that quick. That's excellent. As a base runner, you're probably not going to go if he's going to be that quick.
1-2 on Coco Crisp. Low and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crisp is mired in a 4-for-21 slump right now.
That's notice Ramirez right there was trying to go, but he shut it down because Buck's just too quick. See, he's trying to time him. If you don't get a jump, you got to shut it down. The big gaps here in Comerica, it's definitely important that you do shut them down.
Way inside, full count now, 3-2. Here's what it looks like in the Central.
Well, Tigers 7 back. Now, what if they swept Cleveland? They'd be 3 back. It'd be a little different. And I said there's going to be a sweep somewhere, okay? It may not be here, but maybe Baltimore gets swept or Toronto gets swept. These races, they just change overnight.
Literally, and the emotions change overnight as well.
That's fun stuff. That's good stuff. Not going to hold him with 2 outs. Going to get back. So if he pulls it.
He pulled it all right, deep in the air to right field, and that ball is going to go. It is out of here and gone. A 2-run shot for Coco Crisp. And the Indians have the lead here in the second. So the former Indian joins Cleveland for the stretch run this year and provides dividends tonight.
Well, they're trying to commit on Coco, and the lefties in general like the balls down and in. This one's kind of down and in. Actually, it runs back over the plate a little bit, middle third. Coco just gets the barrel on it, and out it goes. See a nice short 2-strike approach there, and gets the barrel to it.
You don't think of Crisp as a home run hitter, but he's had a few in his career. That's his 13th this year. And a strike called on Tyler Naquin. Indians strike first in game 1 in the series. 2-run shot for Crisp. Naquin at .298, having a fine rookie season. Swing and a miss. 0-2. $12 home runs, or make it 14 home runs for Naquin. He's driven in 42 this year.
Notice Naquin really likes the ball down. When he was here last time, watch a lot of his highlights. They're all down. See Buck trying to throw him up the top of the zone.
You know, Verlander did that really effectively against Naquin the last time JV pitched. He threw fastball after fastball right by Naquin at the belt.
You can see Buck Farmer, he's got good stuff. It's good and lively. But when he has to go maybe different parts of the quadrant that he's not used to, he has a hard time hitting those spots. That's what gets you in trouble.
Farmer had a 1-2-3 first, but now a 2-out 2-run shot by Crisp here in the second. It'll bounce in, and the count now goes 3-2.
Take a look at Tyler Naquin's hot zone. Everything down below the belt. You can see this is where he likes it. Nothing up top. You can see these averages up top, just not even averaging 100. Up and away, really not very good at it. That's where James McCann's trying to get the glove up there, and he's unable to hit it.
And he walked him. Ball 4. It'll be the second walk in the inning for Farmer, who has had 4 full counts already in the game. He'll bring up Roberto Perez, not before Miguel Cabrera walks out to the mound to settle down Buck.
I think that's a good visit. When you start a game, you kind of prepare for it. You expect it to kind of go a certain way, and then all of a sudden, here we are in the top of the second inning. Tribes have got 2 runs on the board already, and you're having a hard time hitting your spots, and things just kind of can get away from you if you don't reel it in. Good job by Miggy.
Perez batting in the 9 slot, hits 168. And Farmer misses outside. 1-0.
Naquin 5 steals, been caught 3 times. You said Perez not swinging the bat very well. 168. So you want to just take your time, concede the runner a little bit, and make sure you get this number 9 hitter out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Perez is 0 for his last 10, and you certainly don't want to turn the lineup over. Attack here and get your teammates back into the dugout.
Especially not to Santana, who has 34 home runs, 83 RBI.
One ball, 1 strike. A little right inside, 2-1 the count.
You see Bucky's all over, pulling it glove side, over correcting. That one's up and in. Just as we were talking about showing his previous rained out game, once he got in a rhythm, he really threw the ball well. That's what he's looking for right now.
Ooh, a little bit low and away. Didn't get the call there, and the count goes to 3-1. Farmer had an 11-pitch first inning, but he's about to throw his 40th of the game now here in the second. With Santana lurking. And there's a base hit to right field. He went the other way with it. Naquin will go to second and stop there. Perez with a 2-out single. Hey, Menards brings you the big money encounter as we look ahead to what's coming up this week. You see, Gibby, the Orioles and the Blue Jays, I mean, they're going to have a little bit of a challenge here the rest of the week.
Well, the Blue Jays especially, they have won with the Yankees tonight, then the Orioles, then the Red Sox. They're not the hottest team, but they've won 11 in a row right now. The Mariners 3 at the Astros, 4 at the Athletics. They've got a pretty good rotation turning over there. Of course, the Orioles just a game and a half in front of the Tigers. The Tigers got to take care of business here with the Tribe and then onto the Braves, which is a young team, and they're very dangerous right now.
Here's what the wild card looks like as we enter play tonight.
Tigers game and a half back. Yankees hung in there for a while, did a pretty good job actually for all the players they traded away, rebuilt, restocked. Tigers got to get out of this inning, put a couple runs on the board and get even with Corey Kluber.
So here is Santana with 2 on, 2 out, 2 runs in.
Watch the fastball here.
It'll dive low to Santana. 1 ball and no strikes.
A hitter like Santana, smart hitter, they have the ability to look for a pitch in a certain area. I think his on-base average is what, about 380, something like that. Is really high.
Yeah, with all the walks, it is really high.
So he knows what he's looking for. If we get another base runner, you're going to see that bullpen phone ring early again tonight.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday, which is not a sight you want to see, but it has to happen this late in the season. And Santana rather takes low, and the count goes to 2-0 now on Carlos.
They're going to watch Buck Farmer right here. Watch how far he falls off to his glove side. His mechanics, he's really feeling for it. Look at, he's just flying open early, yanking it, trying to catch up. Missing a lot of the left-hand batter's box side of the plate. Got to get that balance point, get straightened up. That time overcorrected there, 3-0.
Kipnis waiting on deck. Already 2 walks in the inning for Farmer. The 2-run shot by Coco Crisp has given the Indians the lead.
43 total, only 22 strikes. Just a little over 50%.
And he'll take a walk, and that's going to load the bases now for the Indians. A 2-out walk to Santana. And as he predicted, Gibby, the bullpen starting to work now for the Tigers here in the 2nd inning.
Kyle Ryan. Indians have 3 lefties and 4 switch hitters in their lineup. So right away, Brad's going to go to the lefty. McCann's going to go out there and stall a little bit. Eric Ibar giving some advice. This is dangerous when you lose and you start walking people. And if you're always searching for the plate, you leave something out over the plate. This dangerous Indians team. Kipnis has 23 homers on the year, 80 RBI. So that's pretty good from your 1-2, 83 RBI, then 8. That's pretty good.
Naquin at third, Perez at second, and Santana at first. 2 outs for Jason Kipnis. And he'll look at a strike. A little bit of a sarcastic cheer coming from the crowd.
Think it's sarcastic?
I do.
And they really liked it.
Maybe a little both.
I liked it sarcastically.
Took the words out of my mouth. Now Kipnis steps out. Flied out to left field his first time up. The 23 home runs that Kipnis has hit this year is a career high. Up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, no, a strike call, and Kipnis says, what?
One of the reasons he gets this call, watch how Kipnis is diving kind of. He dives over there and then he comes back out of the way. Trip Gibson behind the plate. Just a couple of inches out of the zone.
That's all. The 0-2. Oh, the crowd wanted that one, didn't get it.
That's just a little too far. You think that Kipnis likes it out over the plate? The Tigers are not throwing anything there. Maybe a changeup down and away now.
That'll bounce in. Good stop by McCann. Level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is nice. You look how quick James is on this. He knows what's coming. Watch how quick he gets down. Glove blocks the 5-hole there. Textbook. I just want to keep it right in front of you.
Two and 2 on Kipnis. Bases loaded. It's been a long half inning for Buck Farmer. And trying to leave him loaded here. Kipnis ground ball right side of the infield. Cabrera has it. Farmer covers and the inning is over. So they will settle for 2 and they leave the bases loaded. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica and get power you can depend on at Ram Power Days. Nice night for baseball here in the Motor City. A little bit cool but clear nonetheless, and the Indians out to a 2-0 lead courtesy of a Coco Crisp home run. Corey Kluber goes back to the hill facing Victor Martinez, JD Martinez, Justin Upton. Infield pulling to the right side against Victor. And he'll send a bouncing ball back up the middle into center field. A base hit just out of the reach of Lindor. A seeing-eyed single for Martinez.
Those are nice, huh? 2 or 3 hopper right up the middle. Victor jumps on that first pitch. See, Kluber's going with the 2-seamer away. Figuring Victor's trying to pull that ball, but he doesn't. Actually stays with it nicely. Just out of the reach. So we got a leadoff single for the Tigers. Got to bring up JD Martinez. Been hot. He's got home run power, followed by JF, who's been even hotter.
The Indians, though, have been able to pretty much keep JD in check this year, but hopefully that'll change tonight. Just .222 against Tribe pitching this year. There's a strike on the inside part. Martinez overall, though, 311, 21 home runs. Here is Kluber's 0-1. Make it 0-2 on JD.
You know, some pitchers you just don't pick up good. Both of those pitches right there, I don't know if JD was taken just to try and get a good look on it. It did not look like he picked them up very well at all. Kluber's going to go for that double play ball.
Hammered to right field. That ball is slicing. It is hit well and gone. That opposite field home run for J.D. Martinez. We are tied at 2.
Boy, JD, way to turn it around right there. Kluber again trying to get that sinker on the outside part of the plate. JD stayed right on him. Look at this, is great. Lets it get deep. That's a strong man. Line drive right out into the tunnel. Tigers have tied it up here in the bottom of the second.
JD hit a ball in the 8th inning of yesterday's game that ended up being a sac fly, but it was a rocket out to right field that was run down by Paulo Orlando, and he just hits the ball hard to all fields. It doesn't matter.
He's exceptionally strong to the opposite side. Most people can't hit a ball that far, that hard. JD does it well.
And just like that, it's a 2-2 game. Here is Upton. Kluber missing high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's nice when your pitcher gives up a couple of runs that early and you come right back.
And give Farmers some credit. They did load the bases against him, but he minimized the damage. Here's a swing and a miss. Sharp breaker, and the count goes 1-2.
You look at JD's home runs by direction. He does have pretty good balance. 9 to left, 6 to center, 7 to right. That's not normal. Most hit him one side or the other. But JD has that ability to hit him all over.
2-2 on Justin Upton, who is the co-American League Player of the Week along with Santana of the Indians. And J-Up's been really hot. He's got 28 homers now. Had a big series against the Royals. And he got him, strike 3. Caught him looking. That ball appeared to be just a skosh outside.
Well, J-Up goes down, but let's take a look at JD's swing. Let's go back and just look at, see Kluber's got the 2-seam grip. You see it running back in. He doesn't want to, look at how late he goes and how direct to the ball. Just between the sweet spot. Look at the finish. Watch the head right here. Right down on the ball. And that is textbook. Nice and strong right here. He's going to follow it out. Right onto right field. She goes.
Here is Ibar, who bangs one foul. 0-1. Did you just say she gone?
She gone. You really missed me. Did you forget that I talk?
No.
Simo's up here.
I don't forget that you talk. I just forget some of the things you say.
Well, that's the beauty of it.
0-1 on Ibar.
That means with authority. She gone.
Okay. I'll write that one down.
Simo, you heard that one, haven't you? You said that a few times.
That sails outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We'll bring Simo in a couple innings. We'll talk about a couple of the conversations we've had already. Okay, we'll get him to weigh in.
We look forward to it. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In the air toward left. Straight at crisp. And that is out number 2. That's going to bring up James McCann. So Kluber bouncing back, getting a couple of outs after the home run by JD.
So can I go back that just a little bit with a question?
Sure.
Should it be he gone?
It should be he gone. Well, actually, you can do whatever you want. It was a peculiar way of changing he gone to she gone. What's next?
I'm sure.
It gone?
No. We'll find out. We get another dinger.
I can't wait. How about if we get one right here? Pop up. Shallow right field. There goes Kipnis. And he's going to be called off by Chisenhall. Inning over, but look what happened here. She gone. Home run by J.D. Martinez. 2-2. 2-2 is our score. Stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. We'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. JD Martinez, that's my guy. Who's yours?
Well, you're already coming out with JD?
Oh, yeah. I'll give you a chance to think about it.
About the truck, I'll go last.
Here's Lindor. He'll take a ball outside. So you're going to let me have JD, huh?
Yeah, you can have him.
Right.
Okay, I'll go Miggy.
Miggy, okay. Waiting on the truck. Farmer ready with the 1-0 pitch.
And here, James McCann.
Yep, the truck going with the Tigers catcher.
I think they're thinking of like a strike him out, throw him out to end the game.
Could be.
That's what I'm thinking. Good pick.
Lindor takes outside, run the count to 3-0, and Farmer, whose pitch count has just not been good in terms of ratio, falling behind again. Here's the 3-0, and he walked him on 4 straight. Not what the Tigers wanted to see.
Goes to bullpen, I'm sure.
Time for a game break now. We check in with Mickey York. Yeah, really unimaginable, Mick, and all the emotions of having to play a baseball game. And I'm sure all of the players on the Marlins, Gibby, were extremely close with Fernandez because by all accounts, and we didn't get a chance to see him play a whole lot or be around him a lot, everybody loved him.
Yeah, extraordinary talent, and actually we didn't know him as well as those down there and we're close to him did, but they're coming out with the stories, and you can see what we missed out on now. I was a very good friend of Tim Cruz. You remember when that was Cleveland in spring training way back. It was had to be in the 90s.
Yeah.
Where he had a boating accident as well, and I was very close to that situation. And though it's tragic and it's tough, and it'll bring out the best in us, and he'll leave his legacy, and he'll never be forgotten.
Mike Napoli, the batter here. And a slow roller hit towards short. Iglesias fires to second. There's one. Throw is off the mark, and safe at first base is Napoli. Ooh, they still had time to get the double play because of the runner.
They did actually. Iggy did a really good job of charging this ball. Sawed him off. Came up and got it. See Ian with the throw. Sails on him a little bit. Miggy thought he might have got him. It looks like he missed him.
And Brad has waved it off. They will not challenge.
And you can see there's air between the glove and the fabric. You got to watch Napoli. He does have 5 steals. He got us one time in the last series that I did. So you can't just let your guard down.
You look at Napoli, you think he's the last guy that's going to run, but he's 5 out of 6.
And he'll just take off. He'll lull you to sleep. He'll time you. You stand over there, he'll count you. As soon as he comes set, he'll just go 1001. Go. Stays nice and close, gets you nice and comfortable, and then he takes off on you.
Jose Ramirez takes ball 1. He was able to reach on a fielder's choice in the second and then scored on the 2-run shot by Crisp. Kluber could not hold on to the lead, though, because the Tigers tied it in the bottom of the second with the Martinez homer. In there, a strike on the outside part of the plate. Ramirez in the second half is hitting .339.
That's what I'm talking about. Watch Buck. He turns back. Then when he turns it back to play, he's going to go look at second. And he didn't do it that time, so he wouldn't go. You try and watch mannerisms they constantly do. And you count it, and then you just run. But whenever he turns and looks towards second base, occasionally he does that. As soon as he goes home, you've got some time before he throws it. So you want to eliminate those patterns.
stayed away that time, and he tried to get Ramirez to go fishing. Wouldn't do it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chisenhall waiting on deck.
It looks like about a 1001, 1002. (1001), 1002, go. That's what a guy like Napoli, who doesn't run that good, they usually get away with it. You wouldn't expect him. I would say, I'll just leave it. I'll make it best case scenario. 50% of the pitchers actually can see the runner over there.
Really?
They don't look. They can't see him. At least half. I bet you it's higher.
In on his hands and popped him up. Who's going to take it? Cabrera coming in, and he'll make the play. So Ramirez retired, 2 outs.
That was in his kitchen there, wasn't it?
He got in on the fist of the bat there, and he popped it straight up.
Hit it one-handed. Watch this. That's down by the label. I'm not sure I'd use that one again. Good pitch. That's why James McCann wanted it in there. Get him to throw it. He's expecting it to run back over the plate. And a good job by Miggy being there to help his catcher, who didn't get a good look.
Here is Lonnie Chisenhall, who fly to center field in his only at bat.
The best weapon against a guy like Napoli over there at first base is to just hold it, give you a good 4 or 5 second hold occasionally. Because when he's going to go, when he's good, he's just going to take off. Most base runners with speed are going to, they're going to actually watch your, you got a key on your knee or your leg. So with this one right here, most base runners are going to read down in this area. So when it goes back this way, you know he's going home.
Runner goes and is ripped right to first. And Cabrera steps on the bag for the final out. No runs, a walk, 1 man left. Coverage of baseball. Jose Fernandez and his Marlins will have his number retired at number 16. Of course, Mickey York earlier talked about the emotion that they had with Miami tonight. Boston Red Sox, Gibby, one of the hottest teams in baseball, currently on an 11-game hitting streak, or winning streak.
Yeah, they're red hot. You wouldn't want to be playing him. And Brian Dozier, first player with 42 home runs on a 100-loss team.
Oh, look out. First pitch from Kluber hits Iglesias.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see how this materializes here tonight. The Twins hit the Tigers, what, Bauer, 3 Tigers last week down in Cleveland. They're not going to do it intentionally for sure in this type of game. Yet, if you keep throwing inside and you keep hitting guys, something has to be done. So nothing really happened last time. We'll see how it plays out tonight.
Bauer hit Kinsler in the helmet, one of the 3 Tigers that were hit in that game. Fouled back out of play 0-1 on Ian.
Again, Trevor Bauer would never do this, but that is solid. They're trying to get the ball inside. What I found interesting about watching this game is after they came in and hit him, and they hit another guy, they kept throwing in. So usually you try and get away a little bit. But Kinsler had set out a couple of games with concussion syndrome, and he's back playing again.
The 0-1 runner goes. Here comes the throw from Perez, and the tag is in time. They're going to call him out. And Brad will look at the video here. Matt Martin will as well.
I thought he had a pretty good jump. I don't know if he had a good enough lead, though.
Yeah, the jump looked good.
Tried to trick slide. See, he tries to do the swim. Watch, he's going to pull the arm back. Looked pretty close. He actually did pull the hand around. It's whether he tagged him or not. He pulls it back. He's got the other hand on there, but I think he kept it on there.
And he came off the bag as well.
He's going to be out.
Yeah, so no challenge. Iglesias thrown out by Perez. Kinsler lines one to left, base hit. Right off the end of the bat, it's a 1-out single.
Ian Kinsler recognizes this pitch really good. He knows it's starting where it's starting, and he recognizes the breaking ball. He sees it coming in about right here. He lays right in there and just lets it come right over the plate. Now, if it starts down the middle of the plate, it's going to break outside. As a hitter, that's what you want to do, is be able to recognize that. Stays right there, serves it out to left field nicely.
Here is Maybin, who struck out in the first, one of the 2 strikeouts Kluber had in that first inning. And he stays away and missed 1-0. Maybin tore it up in that series against the Royals. In fact, yesterday, career high 4 runs scored. He was 8 for 16 in that last series. Bouncing ball up the middle, Lindor will get the out at second, and that's it. And to backtrack, Kinsler is forced out. Fans, tickets for a potential wild card in American League Division Series games at Comerica are on sale right now. Tickets sold exclusively at Tigers.com. Check it out online. Hopefully the Tigers and their fans will be waving the white towels next week at Comerica.
Just got to find a way to get it done. Got to keep the belief that it's going to happen. These guys have been playing extremely hard. Nobody can accuse them of not being ready to play and playing, giving everything they got.
Cabrera takes strike 1. Upper reaches of the strike zone.
Well, we were talking in the first inning, Trip Gibson has a pretty good sized zone. You get 2 strikes, don't let that go by.
Did he go? Held up. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cabrera. Kluber, coming in his 3 starts against the Tigers this year, was 3-0 with a 1.88 earning and had struck out 24 in 24 innings. But the Tigers got him for a 2 spot in the second, and the home run by J.D. Martinez. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Well, 2 strikes. Cam Maben might be going. Again, you're going to watch this leg right here. It goes back. It's about 1.2 seconds if you're going to go. Will be reading. See, now it went the other way and you return. Got to figure out, what does he move first? So this way is back. This way is home.
Out of play, 1-2. The count stays on Miguel.
You want to try and pick a breaking ball over the fastball, because it's going to take longer for the breaking ball to get there.
And typically 1-2 good breaking ball counts, right?
Yeah, it can be.
Perez already has thrown 1 runner out here in the 3rd. He got Iglesias.
Sometimes you get a good, you can see the signs, and you know that's one way that you know. You look in there to the catcher signs. If you're a base stealer, you want to get as much ground, you want to get off as far as you can and still get back. It's 90 feet from bag to bag. So obviously you want to decrease the amount of distance you have to cover.
High fly ball, center field. Naquin going toward the gap, almost to the warning track to make the catch. Miggy is out, so are the Tigers.
Everybody knows Cleveland's magic number is 1 to clinch a playoff spot and the division. Now they have bigger goals, but as Gibby and Mario were talking earlier in the broadcast, this Tiger Club plays with an awful lot of pride. They've played with pride all season long, and here tonight and talking with a lot of those guys before the game, fellas, Justin Upton and James McCann said they can't stand it when the opposing team is shaking hands after the game, meaning victory, and they sure don't want to see a celebration at Comerica Park here tonight or over the next few days. That's part of what makes this game and sports in general so great, right, fellas?
It is indeed, Shep, and the Tigers, Gibby, you're talking about this. I mean, you can see that in the past week, 2 weeks, they have really elevated their game. Now, they haven't won every game, and there have been patches where they've lost a couple in a row, but it's not because of lack of effort.
Absolutely, and I know that when you go into a clubhouse after a loss, it's much quieter. It's a different atmosphere. In 1981, we had a strike-short season, so there was a first half and a second half. And we were in Milwaukee, and we had to beat them, but we lost. And Sparky told us, everybody stay in the dugout and watch. That was part of his message, because it did hurt, and you didn't want to watch it. And a couple years later, we were celebrating. That's the hope.
Well, the Tigers fell behind in this one 2-0. They battled back to tie it up. Farmer back to work here in the fourth. And Crisp looks at a ball that bounces away, and the count on Coco now is 2 balls and 1 strike. Crisp, Naquin, and Perez. Strike call. Crisp had turned and was headed to first base.
Well, Coco thinks this ball's a little out of the zone. It's close enough. He's been calling it all night. We get the call.
Home run number 13 on the year, back in the second. A 2-run shot off Farmer. Chops this one to first base behind the bag. Miggy, nice play. Farmer covers, and 1 gone. Let's check in with Craig Monroe now, who's down in the field taking this one in, and Simo Buck Farmer has kind of rebounded nicely here a little bit. He had some walks early on, gave up the 2-run homer, but they need some length from him tonight.
Well, they definitely need some length, and you got to like the fact that he did bounce back. He gave up a 2-out, 2-2 count home run to Coco Crisp, and everybody heart sank. But then the next inning, JD Martinez comes up and he gets walked into the batter's box and makes a loud noise, hitting the ball the opposite way. And all of a sudden, I was up in the booth with you guys, and I lost it. I had to come down here where I can get loud and get excited about this competition against Kluber tonight.
Little chopper back to the mound, and Farmer will take it himself. Yeah, you got to watch your emotions in the press box here, Simo.
I did. Well, I didn't want to be too loud, and you guys are hard at work, working hard, calling a great game, and I thought, I got to get out to the field where I can get excited, where I can yell a little bit, fist pump. And when JD hit that ball, make no mistake about it, I was fist pumping, and it was a quiet scream in the booth, but you just know that I was screaming. I'm fired up about this series, guys. I'm fired up.
Yeah, I am as well.
I am.
Kind of jealous, to be honest with you, Simo. I mean, you can only remember the day, but this is an exciting time. This is what these guys prepare for all year, and the fans too.
There's a strike called on Roberto Perez.
Okay, there's nothing like when it starts to get chilly out in the fall when you're playing baseball games and historical moments are made. And who's going to be in the headlines tonight, tomorrow, the next day?
Rolled toward third, foul. The count is 0-2. Perez had a single back in the second, and part of what Farmer has done here tonight that's been impressive is they loaded the bases after that 2-run homer by Crisp in the second, and then Buck really settled down, got Kipnis with the bases jammed, and kept it at a 2-0 game. Critical juncture early on. And Craig, you saw the comeback yesterday by the Tigers. They didn't win that game, but the offense never gave up.
And that's one of the things that, guys, you have to respect and admire about the Tigers team. They've gotten down, obviously, with the starting pitching, stubbing their toe early in games. But this offense, man, has a lot of confidence, and they believe that they're always in the game. And it was on display, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But we're ready to turn the page, and we're ready to hopefully go out and continue to put up solid at bats against one of the best righties in the game in Corey Kluber.
2-2 the count on the right-handed batting Perez. Got him, strike 3. Perez caught looking, 1, 2, 3, 4th for Buck Farmer. Nice job coming up for the Tigers. Victor Martinez will lead things off. That is our Magic Moonshot presented by Magic Window. We dial back to Kirk Gibson's dramatic home run against the Oakland Athletics in the World Series. And, of course, the great Vince Scully at the mic on that. And Mr. Scully retiring this year. And Gibby, without question, well, one of your greatest highlights.
To have Vince Scully's voice, I guess, to the track of my career is kind of an honor. You know, I was very fortunate because I had Vince Scully when I was out in the Dodgers. He also did the '84 homer off Goose Gossage. And there she goes, and there it goes, he says. So, I mean, he was very descriptive. He's been in the booth, what, 60-some years. He's 88 years old. He's incredible. And one of the coolest things about when you're playing the game of baseball every day and you get to meet the people who surround and make the game with you. I had Vince Scully and Ernie Harwell, who I later went on to work with Ernie. And I always say this about them both. They treated me way better than I deserved. And that's just the way they were. They were always uplifting to everybody. And, of course, Vin called his last game at Dodger Stadium last night. So another legend leaves us. But certainly the calls will never be forgotten.
Here is J.D. Martinez now with one out. And, well, I mean, you think about it. Ernie Harwell and Vince Scully is two soundtracks to your career. That's pretty cool. And two tremendous people, as you mentioned, as well.
And guys, what about the gesture of the players, for the Dodgers players, tipping the cap? Everybody, man, it gave me chill bumps. I mean, that just goes to show you, the impact that Vince Scully had on the game of baseball, and it's truly going to be missed.
Swing and a miss by J.D. 2 balls and 1 strike.
My third favorite call from Vince Scully was he was talking about Will Clark, who was playing the field, and he said, in case you were wondering, Will Clark is due up 7th next inning.
That slapped to center field, a base hit. How about that 84 call by Vince Scully?
A good one as well.
In Detroit, delirious. Kirk Gibson has 5 RBIs. Here's the story of the inning, of the game, of the series, of the year.
Click, click.
Unreal.
Yeah, that was good stuff. And of course, that moment, those moments, all the Tiger fans and organizations, just outstanding. That's why we're here tonight, being positive. Tigers are 1.5 back, but digging hard against Corey Kluber and the Cleveland Indians to make another special moment. That's the wish. That's what Vince Scully wants to see. It's what I want to see. Somebody else step up, make a great moment, make some baseball history, and let's live it. Let's celebrate him.
Upton looks at a ball outside. The greatness of that call in the '84 World Series against the Padres, Gibby, in my estimation, and Simo as well, was the simplicity in that call. And there she goes, and he just let the crowd do the rest. Just tremendous.
Well, the other thing is, remember, Goose Gossage refused to walk me.
Right.
To his manager, so it was kind of added some drama to it. But yeah, he deserved not to walk me because he owned me. But I had my time, and again, these guys, JD's had trouble off of Kluber. He hits a 2-run homer. So the higher and the later you're playing in the year, the more drama and the bigger the moment.
2-1 on Upton. And Jay Up looks at the ball low. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Like to see a nice fastball, middle in, down, about knee to just a little above the knee. That's the pitch that you look at a lot of Jay Up's home runs. He just is not missing that pitch.
Kluber missing outside. That's ball 4, and the Tigers now have 2 men on.
This is one of the things the guys talked about today, Mario, hanging around the batting cage today. They talked about making Kluber work, trying to get that pitch count up, fouling off some pitches. Well, they're putting together some solid at-bats early in this contest.
Well, Kluber had not thrown too many pitches coming into this inning. Started with the 36 pitches, 25 for strike. That's a 69% strike percentage. On the other side, Buck Farmer, 75 pitches, only 40 strikes. That's 53%. So got a veteran guy, kind of knows what he wants to do. Right there, he's very careful with Jay Up. I was talking about the middle in. he wasn't going to leave it there. He's not going to make a mistake to J up. I think he'd rather tangle with Eric Ibar a little more than he would with J up the way he's been hot.
Dan Otero now is starting to warm up in the Cleveland pen. It's the first time the Tigers have got a man in scoring position in this game as Eric Ibar strolls in. 2-2 game here in the fourth. Little chopper foul.
Yeah, Kluber's going to go for that double play or the strikeout.
Well, down here in the camera well, guys, I got a chance to look at the outfield. I've noticed that Coco Chris in the left field has moved in a little bit. Center fielder Naquin is still back. So obviously on a base hit to left field.
Cheating a little bit, huh?
Yeah, he is. He's in a little bit. So JD's going to have to get on his horse and make sure he cuts that bag, getting to home plate.
Outside foot.
Outside foot. Lean with it a little bit, Gibby.
Right back up the middle, and Kipnis. Oh, what a play, but he threw it away, and the bases will be loaded. His only shot was to try and backhand that ball, and the Tigers have him loaded now.
Tried to make a great play, didn't work out, didn't come out of the glove like he wanted it. Far to his right up the middle. JD gets his head around and does not try and advance, and got bases loaded.
And also, though, Gibby, take a look at Justin Upton at second base. Look at the hands go up. He's telling, hey, stay right there, stay right there. I love the communication right there from Justin Upton.
Also a great shot at Dave Clark, the third base coach, running toward the bag, throwing his arm up and saying, stay put. And now they have him loaded for James McCann.
Probably going to see a slider or something breaking right here.
And McCann looks at a strike at the outer edge.
A little cutter.
Tigers now have 5 hits. They got Martinez, Upton, and Ibar on the bases. Infield in search of 2 up the middle.
A lot of times in this situation, guys try to get big. His only job is to get the third baseman in. JD Martinez at third base in. And so many times we take big swings in this situation because we want to hit everybody in. So important for James right here, McCann, to get a very good pitch he can handle, and a fly ball to the outfield gets the job done.
Your eyes light up, don't they, when you see the bases loaded?
Oh, you want to hit the salami. Everybody wants to hit a grand slam.
Yeah, you can't help it.
No.
Here's the 1-1. High. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You can see Corey Kluber missing his spots right now. That ball was supposed to be away. Starting on the plate, breaking off. That one just got underneath it and just spun high. Not going to give into it.
Foul back.
It's that cutter. The spinner looks good, but just moves off the end of the barrel. Watch it. Looks like he's going to be right. He's on the side of the ball. Right off the end of the bat.
And this is when Mario, when he was a bench coach for Tram, would tell me, spread out, choke up, make an adjustment, try to get the job. You got to get the job. You got to get him in from third base right now.
You got to find a way.
You got to find a way, right, Gib?
You got to change something. You got to stay back. You know, you can't put every ball in play with that mode. You could foul a couple off, foul into the stands.
In the air. That's shallow center field. Naquin coming in. Runner will tag, but hold at third base. Not deep enough to get the run in. 2 gone.
Got another one off the end of the bat. I believe this is another cutter on the outside. He just moves a little bit right there at the end, right off the end of the bat. See, James looks like he's off the plate pretty good right now. Just doesn't get it to carry quite enough, and JD out there at third base really has nothing he can do but hold at third base. Still bases loaded and 2 down.
Well, Kluber not out of the woods yet because Iglesias has an ability to put the ball in play. He was hit by a pitch back in the third.
Think he wants him? Think Iglesias wants to get him right now?
Big time.
Tried to steal a base on him, but was thrown out. And Iggy looks at a strike right at the belt. Looked a little high.
Kluber looked like he pumped up a little bit right there. That's 95. That fastball had some life on it.
Yeah, well, I think Iglesias chatted a few words when he was going to first base, so these two got a little extra on the line.
Good pitch on the outer edge, but Iglesias thought that was outside.
That's a tough AB so far.
That's exactly what Iglesias is telling Trip Gibson.
Those are two tough calls. They're marginal both, so they're either really good pitches or just barely out of the zone. But again, doesn't matter. 0-2, got to find a way.
Wasted that one.
Yeah, you're going to see him move a little bit further off the plate. Iglesias smartly. That was a ball, but he stayed alive and got a piece of it.
When you take a couple of pitches like you just did, and then Iglesias thought they were either high or outside, do you tend maybe to expand your strike zone?
Absolutely. I mean, you just did right there. You got to foul it off. Like I say, you can't put that ball in play. You can only hope that Kluber makes a mistake somewhere along the line here.
That one's way off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And if he calls that one, then you're not going to be quiet. But the umpires are professional about it. I mean, they're calling what they see. And, you know, hitters don't want them ever to miss a call. And I can understand that. I remember that. I was a belly anchor, too.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Especially in a situation like this, but you got to buckle it down. You got to put it behind you.
Little chopper to the right side. Kipnis. And always out at first base. That was close. Iglesias just nipped at the wire and a bang play. Let's see if Brad's saying hold on here. Nope, he's going to wave it off, and that's going to be it. Kipnis took that extra beat and it almost caught him. Got him just in time. Tigers loaded the bases in the 4th, but could not get to Kluber, and now the Indians bat in the 5th inning. 2-2 is our score. Buck Farmer goes back to work and delivers a strike that Santana disagreed with.
Everybody's disagreeing.
Home plate umpire Trip Gibson hearing it from both sides. Infield playing to pull on Santana. That one's down the middle, or close enough.
So James McCann's doing a good job of really getting in underneath the left-handed hitters of the Indians for Buck Farmer, and lets that ball run back out over the plate. It's starting inside, off the plate. Going to go in there again.
Pulled on the ground, and Kinsler can't quite corral it. right into the shift, but the leadoff man is on.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch last at bat.
Pretty good.
Jason Kipnis. See, Buck Farmer worked him kind of up in the zone on all the pitches, inside as well. Got ahead through the changeup. He got him on the high cutter. Gets over and Buck Farmer covers the bag well. Mickey did a really good job on that play of taking his time, letting his pitcher get over there, stop. He knew he had time, didn't rush it, and ended the inning.
Kipnis looks at ball one. The last play, by the way, ruled a base hit for Santana, his first of the night. And only the third for the Indians. Fly ball to go with his ground out tonight for Kipnis. Lifted in the air, slicing away, and Jay Up not going to be able to get there. Don't think. Nope, out of play. Tigers got 2 in the second, and the Indians led 2-0 on the home run by Crisp, and then Martinez tied it up. It's been 0 since. Now Farmer ready with the 1-1. Again, popped back out of play.
Here's our high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity. Buck Farmer, high of 94, low of 77. Pretty good variation. 17-mile-an-hour difference.
Buck was on a roll down at AAA prior to being called up at the beginning of September. He was 4-1 in his last 8 starts with the Mud Hens, at an ERA sub-2. That'll dart low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I talked to Buck in spring training, just you know, what his goals were, etc. And he admitted that he just had to learn how to get control of the game sometimes. It gets fast, everybody it does. You're overwhelmed when you first come up. And it's taken him some time, but you can see that when he does, he's got good stuff and it gets people out.
Now he's gone 3-2. Waiting on deck is Francisco Lindor. Just a couple of years ago that Farmer was the Midwest League Pitcher of the Year in 2014. Started the season at West Michigan, went to Erie, and then eventually Detroit. He jumped a couple of levels in 1 year to get to the big leagues. Kipnis waiting on a 3-2. Leadoff single by Santana. Santana goes on a drive toward the gap in left center field. This looks like trouble, and that ball is going to go up against the wall, and it's going to score a run. Santana comes in, a double and an RBI for Jason Kipnis.
When you get into a 3-2 count, you got to throw a strike, and Jason Kipnis, they've been trying to keep tight on him. He gets this ball, it runs back out over the plate. This is why they throw him inside right here. Perfect swing. Ball actually hits the top of the yellow right there. Usually if it bounces over, you hold the runners at second, third, and the run does not score, but a little bit of bad luck for the Tigers here.
Ooh, you're right. Right off that yellow line, bad break.
And the run scores because of it. Santana was on the move on the 3-2 count.
RBI number 81 for Kipnis' 38th double, 3-2 ball game now. Here is Lindor, who is 0 for 1 with a walk, and he drops down a bunt. High bar at third. He'll get the runner to third base. 1 gone. Sacrifice advances the runner.
You have to bring the infield in now. Kyle Ryan up. He's probably pretty much warm right now.
What do you think of that bunt play here in the 5th inning, getting that runner to third? Obviously, Tito playing for that extra run and the 2-run lead, but there are some that would not go for that bunt there.
Well, he may have done it on his own. He's been struggling, right? He was the 0 for 25.
Oh, good point, yeah.
And I think that he likes his bullpen. He likes his staff. So I think if he gets a couple-run lead and Kluber gets in some trouble, I think I see they got somebody warming up in the pen out there right now. So just another way to look at it.
Infield coming in now for Napoli, trying to get that runner in from third. That's inside 1-0.
Well, Gibby, I believe it's because he's been scuffling a little bit. And when you're scuffling, you want to feel like you can contribute to wins and helping your team win games. And so I feel like right there, Terry Francona, or even Lindor there, took some pressure off himself, know that he needs to get the runner over, laid down a perfect bunt. And now they're hitting with a run at third base, less than 2 outs.
And the thing about it is a manager, you're trying to put your player in a position to succeed. So given what he's been going through, Simo, you think he feels like he's had a positive, don't you think?
Absolutely. So and I truly believe that's why he laid that bunt down.
And he may have done it on his own for all we know.
Right.
Farmer with the 1-1. High towering fly ball to center field. Maben going back. He'll go to the warning track. That'll score the run. It's an RBI and a sacrifice fly for Mike Napoli. So the bunt works. They get a run in. 101 in the RBI total down for Napoli.
Yeah, Mike knows how to look at the pitch. He's trying a slider. He hangs it. Mike Napoli can hit a high pitch as good as anybody in this league. Paul's supposed to have more bite down in the zone. Just hangs it a little bit. Mike Napoli barrels it pretty good. Gets the sac fly. Now the Tigers trail 4-2.
Well, in that situation too, you know you're looking for a pitch up that you can hit a fly ball to the outfield. Would have liked to see Farmer get that ball down a little bit, just try to get him the ground, roll over one to the to the shortstop and third baseman, keep that run from scoring. Great piece of hitting by Mike Napoli.
Ramirez looks at a ball outside. Here's a guy, Simo and Ramirez, that has been a huge surprise this year.
He really has. And one of the things that Terry Francona has talked about this young man is the quality of his at-bats. He doesn't give any of them away. He's got great hands. His bat's quick. He's got a solid approach at the plate.
Fly ball to left and playable for Justin Upton. That'll end the inning. However, the Indians get a pair of runs to break the tie. You're watching Tigers baseball, presented by Bell Tire. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chevrolet, more than you expect for less than you imagine. Who's that guy?
Crazy.
Acting like a madman out there.
Loco, yeah.
4-2, the Indians have the lead as we go now to the bottom of the 5th inning. How about this? Corey Kluber coming out of the game. It's a wall side windows pitching change. Dan Otero was in.
And he's throwing very well. Lead second in the AL in relief with a 1.46 ERA. Has a fastball, cutter, change, very occasionally a curveball. 55 strikeouts, 10 walks. And Corey Kluber versus Buck Farmer. There's the tail of the tape. Kluber exits the game with the lead 4-2.
All right, so the question for you guys is 60 pitches out of your ace Corey Kluber tonight. Why do you think Tito went to the bullpen here?
I think he's getting ready for the playoffs.
I do too, and I think he's saving the bullets.
He's got 211 innings coming into today. So I think they believe they're going to get into the playoffs. They want to probably start resting him a little bit. Kluber's throwing a game like this in the playoffs. He's going to be in there, you know. So
right.
I think he's just doing a little. And for all we know, Kluber might have a blister, you know, starting on his finger or something. And told Tito, it could be many things, but you know, overall, I just think it's specific planning for future endeavors.
Kinsler, Maben, Cabrera on top of the order facing Otero. Well, this Indians bullpen has been the best in the American League, so if you're Terry Francona, you got that to lean on as well. 3.29 ERA, the best in the AL. Action in the Tigers bullpen. Alex Wilson, the right-hander. Bouncing ball up the middle. It'll find a hole, base hit. It's the second hit of the game for Ian Kinsler. Tickets for potential wild card American League Division Series games in Comerica on sale now. Tickets sold exclusively at Tigers.com. Meanwhile, Kinsler continues to set the table.
He's hot. He's on fire right up there at top. Tigers can strike quickly.
Well, I was watching Kinsler too in batting practice. While he was talking with Wally Joyner, the hitting instructor here for the Tigers, and they were working on his hand position. And it looks like whatever the adjustments they made worked.
Kinsler, or Kipnis rather, will take the out at first as Kinsler goes to second. Ground out by Maben. One gone now.
You know that load, Simo. It's a fine line right up there. What you do with your hands, you want to try and keep your hands back, walk away from them a little bit on the swing, but you know, just are they pointing straight up, or is there a little flatness to that backswing? And depending on what you do with your hands determines on the path of your bat. You might have a loop, or you might have that direct path, and of course that's what you're searching for.
Well, Wally was showing him that it looked like his hands were down. He was holding them a little bit too low, and he just told him to put them back up a little bit, and he went into the batting cage, and his BP was even better.
Cabrera shoots one up the middle into center. Kinsler rounding third. He will come around to score, and the Tigers get one back. RBI single for Cabrera.
Well, Simo was talking last inning, don't get greedy, don't try and get the two-run homer. Matt Williams used to tell me, just get the onesie. You're thinking middle of the diamond. That's what he does, right up the middle. Doesn't roll it over, doesn't go the other way. Kinsler scores easily. Makes it 4-3. I think he's still on first.
Now Victor Martinez. Kinsler scores yet another run, his 112th of the year. Table setter. Here's a strikeout, Victor.
Well, you have to like how the boys bounce right back. You know, go down 4-2. Kinsler gets it going in the bottom of the fifth, gets on base, get in the scoring position, and the big fella Miggy drives him in. They're answering back, fellas.
You know what I like about it, Kinsler got on, Maben hits the ball to second base. And just that's when we always talk about that timing mechanism when you're taking your second part of your lead. You have that good timing, you get down there far enough, and Kipnis went to first base instead of second, and Kinsler ends up scoring.
It's going to be a double play here. That'll end the inning. So the Tigers settled for one, but they're one closer. In that contest.
We'll take a look at the American League wild card standings. Toronto and Baltimore up a game and a half for the Tigers. If the Tigers come back and win tonight, they'll be one back. Seattle leading Toronto right now. So that Seattle team is dangerous, and yeah, I think tensions are probably high. Got a wall side windows pitching change. Kyle Ryan coming in this season, his 53rd game, done a heck of a job. Got well above ground ball percentage over league average, and he got the strikeout.
Strike one on Chisenhall. What do you think the term Donnybrook came from?
Donnie must have had a fight down by the brook.
Yeah, that's exactly probably what happened.
Well, you got it, don't you?
Well, no, I'm just, I mean, it came to me. I just used the term Donnybrook, and I have no idea where it came from. I'm looking it up, and it says, the definition of a Donnybrook is a scene of uproar and disorder. A heated argument, but it doesn't explain where it came from.
We have to dig a little deeper.
We will. 1-1 on Chisenhall. Crispin the Naquin to follow. Little bouncer towards second base, ranging right, Kinsler. One away. Here is the Meyer playoff push. Some scores, and of course the Tigers' final opponent of the season will be the Atlanta Braves. Right now Miami putting it on them on a very emotional night there. Their first game without Jose Fernandez. He showed you the Toronto New York score, and Seattle, man, you called them sneaky, Gibby, and I think you're right.
They got a pretty good pitching staff over there as well. They're loaded up pretty good to do some battle. King Felix, Iwakuma, Paxton. They've come into form pretty good closer as well.
And offensively, Gibby, their 3-4 ain't that bad either with Cano and Cruz.
Yeah,
they're all right.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Coco Crisp had a 2-run homer in his first at bat to give the Indians a short-lived 2-0 lead.
Simo, did you see the Bryce Harper thing happen the other day in Washington, where he got deked on a slide at third base?
I did. They weren't happy about it.
Ryan ready with the 1-1. Bouncing ball right to Kinsler. Ian gobbles that one up.
Well, we just wonder, you know, is it right to go out? Is it not right? Should somebody be hit? Should they not be hit? Well, Bryce Harper hits a ball right here. Now he goes in, he's safe, and you see Gung right there. He dekes him, and Bryce, he's thinking, oh, it's easy. Of course, they do this, so it slipped. Now the benches start to clear. Then watch, this is the question of the night. Now here comes the bullpen. Why don't they just stop in left field right there? What are they coming into the pile?
Right.
They don't need any supervision, do they?
Not at all. It's all for show, Gibby. That was just for show.
Yeah, I want to see him come out and then put some square dance music on. They can all start square dancing in left field.
Yeah, that'll happen. Here's Rajai Davis.
Just the things I think of. Rajai.
He's pinch hitting for Naquin. And he shoots one on the ground to short. Iglesias on the backhand. Nice play.
Footwork, Mickey.
1-2-3 inning for Kyle Ryan.
3 ground balls.
We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 1-run game. Over in center field after pinch hitting for Naquin. That is the only change now as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tigers down by a run, 4-3. JD, Justin Upton, Eric Ibar facing the right-hander, and Otero missing high. 1 ball, no strikes.
You can see the way Terry Francona uses his bench already. They go ahead and pinch hit Rajai for Naquin. Obviously a better hitter. Davis is off the lefty.
2 balls and no strikes. We're at Comerica Park tonight, starting a 4-game series between the Tigers and the Indians. Mario and Pemba, Kurt Gibson, Craig Monroe. Happy to have you along tonight. Joe Nicola, our producer. Brian Moss, our director. Roll to the shortstop, Lindor. 1 out.
Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. The 2nd inning, Coco Chris with the 2-run dinger puts the Indians out 2-0. JD Martinez comes back after a Victor Martinez single. That ties it up. And the Tribe right there get the RBI double, and then the sac fly by Mike Napoli. That makes it 4-2, and then Miggy plays Ian Kinsler in the bottom of the frame. That make it what the score is now 4-3.
And Terry Francona going back to the bullpen after the first out was recorded. Brian Shaw taking his final drink of water, and he'll come trotting out of the bullpen. 4-3, Indians lead. We'll be back. as we play here in the bottom of the 6th. Justin Upton will step in now. And how about OPS by month this season? Look what J-Up has done.
Yeah, gradually going up, had a little hiccup, and then whoop. September is awesome. Yeah, he's been raking, and Tigers looking for him to stay hot. He's carried a team or two over his career. Got a pitching change. Brian Shaw will come in. He's got the most games as a reliever, I believe, in the big leagues. This is his 74th game. He's got an iron arm. He just comes right at you. Fastball cutter. Lots of them. There's a cutter right there, 94. Had this kid when he was a youngster down in Arizona. Take the ball any day. Doesn't let it affect him if he gives it up. Comes back with confidence on the next try.
Here's the 0-1. J-Up looks at a ball high. The count goes 1 ball and 1 strike on Upton.
I was actually talking to Justin today, guys, around the cage, and he just came out just to kind of take a peek at what was going on. He said that he hasn't been taking batting practice on the field. He doesn't like the tempo. He likes being in the batting cage where he can take his time, and it's paying huge dividends for him.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, remember when he got the days off?
Yes.
Pretty much since then. I know Brad had a conversation with him. He said, I don't care if you go out for BP, what you do. You know, you don't really need to take any more swings, as he had been taking a lot. Simo, you've done that a few times, right?
Yes, I have.
You start scuffling and you take more and more swings, it works against you.
It does.
Fouled back out of play.
And we showed you the OPS, how it went up. And yesterday in the 7th inning, J-Up tries to bring the Tigers back. Nice breaking ball here. Gets the bat head out for another round tripper.
Yeah, he also said in batting practice, he said you can try to do too much. You can try to put on the show for the fans. You want to hit home runs, and he said it's not conducive to your swing in the game, and that's one of the reasons why he's in the batting cage working on his swing.
Got him that time. J-Up is out of there.
So with the breaking ball, J-Up expecting that cutter. Brian Shaw doesn't throw too many of these. There you see it. He's come up with this pitch. Good sharp down in the dirt. J-Up goes down.
Well, Terry Francona used his bullpen masterfully in that game in which Carrasco was hit by a pitch and knocked out. The Tigers lost that Saturday game in Cleveland, and Tito used his bullpen better than we've seen anybody use a pen in a while, and he's going back to that bullpen early here tonight, trying to piece this one together.
That's what he does. Does it a little more unconventionally, I should say, than most. I think the popular thing is to do 7, 8, 9, much the way that Kansas City won the World Series. But Tito, he'll bring anybody in at any time. Brian Shaw, he'll pitch in the 9th. He's in the game here in the bottom of the 6th. Andrew Miller, he's thrown a game in the 6th. He's thrown like 5, 6 times in the 7th and the 8th and the 9th. He's got, I think, 3 saves, a couple wins since he's come over in the trade. That's his main piece, Andrew Miller.
Got a word on Kluber now. He actually did leave the game with an injury, right groin tightness, so they took him out.
Yeah, it had to be something.
Justin Wilson is now loosening in the Tigers bullpen. 2-1 on Ibar, who has proved to be a fairly difficult out over the last week or so. Ibar had a hit in the 4th inning tonight. 2 hits and a walk yesterday. Average pretty good since the All-Star break, and he'll take a ball high, run the count to 3-1.
He's been getting pretty good playing time, the amount of playing time, and get to this time of the year, you kind of got to earn it. And he's done that.
There was word earlier today that Nick Castellanos might be back before the Tigers even go to Atlanta to close out the season with that 3-game series.
Yeah, I think Nick may be back on Wednesday. Get maybe a game or 2 in here before they head out.
And he walked him. That'll be a 2-out base on balls. Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Here's McCann.
Well, Ibar with the 2-out walk right here. Good time to make it hurt. Nobody likes 2-out walks on the defensive side, but certainly you take that charity if you're the Tigers here. We're trailing down by a run.
2 fly balls for McCann, 1 to right, 1 to center. His last fly ball came with 1 out, the bases loaded in the 4th. It was too shallow though in center field to drive in a run.
Ibar has some speed, guys. Here's an opportunity too to get himself in the scoring position if he can get a good jump over there.
I don't think he's got a very good lead though. He's gonna have to get out further than that.
Here's the 1-0. Brian Shaw's been a workhorse, to be sure. We talked about the fact that he has pitched more games than anybody in the American League. In fact, if you go back to 2013, he leads the majors in relief outings. Got to be somewhat of a comfort for a manager to have that one guy in the bullpen give you that you know you can go back to time and time again.
Yeah, it does. And, the way Cleveland pieces their bullpen together, this guy right here is very important, as well as Andrew Miller. Leads the American League with a 3.28 bullpen ERA this season. Big James is due.
A little high, and the count goes 2-1 now in McCann.
Well, you know, if you get to 3-2, you're going to be on the move. But the question is, think about, do you send him 3-1? Indians last inning scored a run with the runner in motion.
Ooh, he showed bunt, and it's a strike call. 2-2. Well, they had the third baseman Ramirez way deep at third.
You like that play, Simo?
I'm going to be honest with you, I do not. It's a 2-1 count and give out my hitter. 2-1, it's a fastball count. I'm looking for a pitch that I can handle middle in if that's where I like it, or out of third where I can get some extension, but I'm definitely not squaring around the bunt. 2-1 count.
Yes, you're looking for some damage.
Absolutely.
Well, I'd say it's probably good wisdom for everybody, but occasionally, you know, if he drops it down and Iglesias comes up and he handles the bat well, and you get a run and you get into a big inning, that works as well. But generally, you would not see that happen from a guy with McCann's ability to hit the ball out of the park.
Now Perez will take a stroll out to the mound to have a chat with Shaw here. 2-2 the count. We're in the bottom of the 6th in a 1-run game.
Well, he went to J up. Remember when he went to a J up, he went to that curveball. So he may even waste a pitch here and come back with that curveball. James is still talking to Trip Gibson there. He's got the opportunity. That's a good time when the catcher goes out to talk to the pitcher on the mound. You kind of finish your conversation without garnering too much attention.
Well, McCann also too in this first couple bat, you talked about his, hit the ball off the end of the bat. This particular bat, especially with 2 strikes, important to stay square. Try to drive that ball to the opposite way.
Slapped in the air to shallow center, and diving try going to drop. Ibar to third. They're going to hold him there. It's a bloop single for McCann. That'll work.
Keep the liner rolling. Kenny hits this one off the end. Ibar, of course, he's got 2 outs, so you don't have to wait and see if he's going to catch it. Roger Davis did a really good job right here. See how he stays behind and backs up? You can make a mistake if you're the outfielder and you get too close to the plate, it can dribble by you. And Rajai is in perfect position, and Ibar has to hold up.
So here is Iglesias now with men at the corners. Iggy batted with 2 out and bases loaded his last time up and was thrown out on a bang-bang play and a ground ball to second.
Well, Shaw's pretty much going to go away. He's going to be cutter away and breaking ball. Occasional high fastball. I don't think he's going to come in too much to Iglesias. If he does, you don't want to swing at it. Ooh. Iggy taking all the way. What are you looking for right here, Simo?
Well, I'm looking for a fastball out over the plate because I feel like I'm not going to be able to get to the ball on the inside part of the plate, and Shaw likes to go away. And I think it plays well for Iggy's swing as well. I mean, this is what he does. He stays on the baseball. He's got that short, compact swing, which allows him to hit the ball to all fields. And so I see him putting together, even with 2 strikes here, Gibby, I still see him having the ability to let the ball travel and stay on the baseball and hopefully drive one in the gap somewhere.
3 for 6 off of Shaw is Iglesias, and I'm looking out here in the right field. Lonnie Chisenhall is still playing fairly deep. You got to be cheating in if I was him, but still room for Iglesias to fit it in.
I am really surprised Chisenhall is playing as deeply as he is, because I think you're right, Gibby. I think we've seen Iglesias go to right field a lot, and if he dumps one in there, you've got to run in. You've got first and third.
He is over, but he should be probably up in this area. He's behind it a little bit. We don't really want to tell him.
No.
Play a little deeper.
Play deeper. Keep going back.
Get the towel out and wave it back.
0-2 on Iglesias. 2-out threat for the Tigers, down by a run here in the 6th.
It's the curveball.
Boy, Iggy fighting him off. That's the 3rd ball he has fouled off to stay alive.
It's a 96-mile-an-hour cutter. He totally missed the spot. Supposed to be up and away. It was up and in.
And you can also tell, Gibby and Mario, that he's thinking letting that ball travel. Guys, you've heard the baseball cliche, good hitters get jammed. He's late. He's letting that ball travel.
Yeah, every single swing with 2 strikes on him has been the other way.
Yes.
Blocked there by Perez. 1-2.
And see, Mario, Gib, you know this, but that's what it allows you to do. By thinking, let the ball travel with 2 strikes, let it get deep, trust your hands. It allows you to see that ball, and that ball was down. That was a breaking ball down. He was able to take that pitch because he's thinking, let it get deep.
Yeah, you want to take what he means is you want to stay on it a little longer.
A little bit longer.
Make sure you recognize it before you offer at it.
Nubbed foul again as Iglesias continues to give Shaw fits here.
Now, I'm looking for all these little advantages you can get, and watching the catcher, Perez. You got first and third. It's a pretty good opportunity. They're not holding McCann on at first. You get up a little further. You try and look down there at the signs. There is a way of relaying it to Iglesias.
Hello.
You know, I'm thinking he's got them together pretty good. He's hiding them pretty good in there. He's got the glove there.
I like your thinking there, though, big fella.
But see, he can get way off.
Yes, he can.
See right in there.
Man, Iglesias putting together an at bat here.
Yeah, that was one of the things we would do. I mean, when I played here with the Tigers, that's one of the things we would do. Take a look at this swing here, though.
Nice and late. It's a splitter.
And it's try to get to a position where you can look in, take a peek at the signs, kind of figure out what they're gonna throw. Hands on, hands off.
Your hands on your knees, fastball, hands off, off speed.
All that good stuff.
Left foot, right foot.
Listen to
Coming
you
in
guys.
with the heater.
Another foul back out of play.
What?
This
Looking
has
for
been
advantage.
8-pitch at bat with 6 foul balls.
Mario, we're telling the secrets right
Yeah,
now.
you are.
So if you're Iglesias, so that means you got to kind of peek down at McCann where he gives you the sign, and he would give it about, I'll tell you when. So he's getting the signs. If he starts to go to a stretch, he'd do what he's going to do, and you'd know.
Got him. Strike 3. Frozen that time. And Iglesias thought it was inside. A strikeout of Jose Iglesias strands a couple of runners. Simo, thanks, buddy. We'll see you on postgame.
No, thank you guys.
Thanks,
Stick around for postgame. Talk to y'all later. Thanks.
Pretty good pitch right here by Sean, and Iggy thought it was in tight. Inning over. Indians still lead 4-3.
The 6th, they trail Cleveland here by 1 at Comerica Park. I don't want to talk about the Indians too much, but you got to give credit where credit is due. This team's magic number is 1 to win its 11th division title. And being with those guys in the clubhouse earlier today, they are supremely confident. And I think it stems from when their attitude was at spring training as well. With a magic number of 1, I did ask them, and Gibby, you might be interested to know about this and give us a little feedback on this. Is it less pressure or more pressure when you have a magic number of 1? Because you want to close the deal as quickly as possible and not let the other teams hang around. These guys said, we're just going about our business the same way we have as always, from spring training on, quality at bats, play good defense, good pitching, and stick with one another. Fellas, back to you.
Yeah, I think it can be either way based upon many factors. As good as they played, did they win 14 in a row?
They did.
I'd say they're pretty confident, and they know that they're gonna you know, take care of that magic number of 1. Move on. They're a confident club. They're well managed. They know they got what their strengths are. They don't think about their weaknesses. I think they feel pretty comfortable.
That ball's hit deep in the air to right field. JD going back to the wall, and it's going to carry out and gone into the seats in right. The number 9 hitter, Perez, with an opposite field home run. And it's once again a 2-run game. It's the second hit of the game now for Perez.
Yeah, this ball's a fastball right out over the plate. You can see McCann wanted it inside. Justin missed it up in the zone, and it carries on out of here.
5-3 ball game. Here is Santana. There's a strike down the middle, 0-1.
You know, Justin's been throwing the ball better as of late. In fact, I was just looking. He kind of cleaned it up lately. But I see him throwing a lot more sliders. He gets some situations where he's just throwing that fastball all the time.
Right.
They just they tee off on it, and again he missed it. He missed his location right here. And Perez the other way. Ball's jumping pretty good tonight out there, isn't it?
It sure is. That ball that JD hit got out here in a hurry to right field. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Carlos Santana.
This second game in a row, actually third game where the Tigers have had to claw back from behind. And it's always the bullpen's job trying to stop them from scoring, so you obviously can catch up and win the game. Didn't work yesterday, and so far today, Tigers scored 1 in the 5th, and he went back here.
That ball is hit well to center field, but Maben going back has room. 1 out. I'm Jim Grant. Detroit brings you the scouting report on Terry Francona and his different kind of philosophies this year.
Yeah, they got Carlos Santana up top. See his on-base percentage of .378 in the leadoff spot. It's 3rd best in the American League. 57% of the plate appearances come from batting leadoff. And Andrew Miller used by situation. You see his ERA, 30% of his innings pitched in high leverage. So if you get a high leverage situation, an important situation, you know he's going to crank him on in there. He doesn't care when it is.
No, and which leads us to the next question. You've got the top of the order coming up for the Tigers in the 7th. Kinsler, Maben, Cabrera. Do you use him then? Do you use him in the 8th when you have Martinez, and Upton? I mean, these are things that Francona is considering now when you have a weapon like Andrew Miller.
Yeah, Miller's got the velocity. He's tall. He hides the ball well, and he's got a wipeout slider. So he's very tough to center on. He knows how to pitch. Of course, he started here how many years ago?
Right.
Tigers' #1 pick. And he's finally worked himself into a very good pitcher.
Kipnis takes outside 1-2.
Look like Justin here. His fastball always comes out nice and hot. He's got good velo. His slider, he just he's had trouble recently locating that pitch. He gets that over very, very tough. Back to the guy that started the year.
Kipnis actually hits .286 against lefties compared to .269 against righties. Been a little bit better against The left-handers.
They call them reverse splits.
Yeah. A 1-2. Not that time. See you later.
Good slider. Like that pitch from this kid right here in the mound.
Hey, the most popular way to follow Detroit Tigers postseason push is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day. Live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Get MLB.com at bat on your favorite devices now. Francisco Lindor. Walk and a sacrifice, which helped set up a run in the 5th inning. Ball 1.
We're looking right now. Seattle 2-0 in the top of the 5th over Houston. Toronto 3-1 top 8 against the Yankees. Tigers trail 5-3 here to the Indians.
1 week to go, and the wild card situation is, well, graphically it looks like this.
And so if Tigers would lose tonight, they'd be 2.5 back. If everything stands the way it is now, Seattle would be 2.5 back. Actually, it'd only be 2 back because Baltimore is not playing tonight.
Two and 1 on Francisco Lindor.
But the Tigers are going to come back. Stay tuned.
Lots of baseball to be played here. 3 balls, 1 strike on Lindor. J.D. Martinez, 2-run shot in this ball game for the Tigers. And he lost in ball 4, so Lindor is on again. A 2-out walk. We'll keep it going now for Napoli as we look at the remaining games for the contenders.
Well, the Orioles are up on us, so they're off today. 3 at the Jays, 3 at the Yankees. You can see we got 4 against the Indians and 3 at the Braves. Toronto, Yankees, Orioles, and Red Sox. That's tough. And the Mariners at the Astros, which they're leading right now, and 4 at home against the A's. So their schedule is a pretty favorable one as well. Tigers need to get through the Indians here, find a way to come back tonight, make some ground up. You know, one way, as disappointed as everybody was, they lost the last 2 games, was a week ago we were 3 out. So we actually cut our lead in 1 week by a game and a half.
Napoli watches one bounce in. Yeah, the Tigers lost that game on Saturday, the 1-0 game in 10 innings after they knocked Carrasco out of the game and couldn't get to the Indians bullpen. And boy, so many thought the next day when you got to the ballpark that just the attitude had shifted dramatically, but it again just doesn't take long for things to change.
That can be really good or really frustrating. See Brad giving the signs. You throw over, if you pitch out, what do you do?
The 1-0 swing and a miss. Big rip there by Napoli.
Now, as a hitter, Napoli, he just loves that high pitch. See him hit 100-mile-an-hour high heaters like that, sky high, long gone. So you got to mix it up. Gonna pick.
Explain that, because McCann just basically put the horns down, right? That means pick.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have different signs that you can throw over.
And another toss back to the bag at first base, keeping Lindor close. He has 19 steals.
Let's see, McCann didn't put the horns down there, but he did pick. So pitchers, you know, they can throw over on their own as well. Now, if you're a base stealer, you might be saying, hey, he never's thrown over 3 times, so you go on first move here. What are the odds of him throwing over? You got the lead.
2-1.
I think I was over there with Jerry Kuzman one day, and I waited till like the 7th time in a row he threw over.
Literally threw 7 times.
Yeah, I said, yeah, I started thinking about going, but the guys who really want to steal you, if you keep throwing over there, you know they're going to go. And I got him.
I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher throw maybe more than 4 straight times to first base.
How old are you?
Years old.
How many games you see at the old Comiskey?
None, actually. Not at the old ballpark. No.
That was at that park. A lot of crazy things that went on there back in the day. The Tigers had that
demolition derby. Yeah, disco demolition.
Yeah, that happened there. Tigers won a game by forfeit. Played against Tom Seaver. Terrific Tom Seaver in that stadium.
2-2. Big red there by Napoli. Fouled it straight back.
He really keeps those hands high when he swings. Doesn't dip hardly at all. He's going for the downs every swing he takes. It's just a little different swing than you see. Look, he keeps his hands up there. He doesn't dip that back elbow. Just keeps it right there. Keeps the bat up. He's a pretty good high ball hitter. Not many are.
And now McCann doesn't want a mistake made here, so he's out to the mound.
Ramirez pretty good protection though behind Napoli.
Leadoff home run by the number 9 hitter Perez. A 2-out walk for Lindor. 5-3. Indians have the lead. And another pick.
Lindor 19 bags on the year. But he's not going anywhere. Tigers are hoping they can get out of this inning with having to throw to Napoli via the pickoff.
Runner goes. Popped up. Right side of the infield. Kinsler is under it. And that'll take care of the Indians. They get a run on the home run by Perez. Coming up the McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch. The bottom of the 7th, and the Tigers have the top of the order coming up. It'll be Kinsler, Maben, and Cabrera. Brian Shaw still out there as the Tigers Has some work to do now, down by 2. Kinsler's been on base twice, couple of singles. And he slaps the first one foul, back out of play 0-1.
See Shaw, he just keeps coming at you, he just wheels back. You can, looks like it's just a fastball right down the middle. It's got that cut, that late cut on it.
Ian Kinsler has 10 hits in his last 16 at bats. He spins one up there but misses low and away. 1-1.
Back in the day, see, he pretty much goes to his hand every time when he returns the ball. There's Andrew Miller getting ready to get warmed up out there in the Indians bullpen.
Well, we talked about the high leverage situations as the Indians now are delving into the top and then eventually middle of the Tigers lineup. And should he be needed, Miller, I'm sure Terry Francona wouldn't be hesitant to use him here in the 7th. The 1-2, whistled foul, back out of play.
Now, if you notice, Iglesias fouled a lot of balls over the Indians dugout. Kinsler's doing the same. The breaking ball that he threw Jay up, that's made the Tigers wait a little longer. If he doesn't have that, if it's all cutters, you might see the bat head come out a little quicker. Got to guard against that breaking pitch.
Pulled in the air down the left field line. That ball is going to be dropped by Crisp. Kinsler is on his way to second. He'll stop there. It looked like Coco was going to make the catch. Third hit of the game now for Kinsler.
Well, Coco had to go far to his right. You see he's got to move across. Just barely hits off the outside part of his glove. Not securely into the webbing, and he can't hang on. He's going down into that corner, has to reach, outstretch far. That will be a double for Ian Kinsler to lead off here in the 7th. Bottom of the 7th. Keep grinding, boys.
Now Perez out there to buy a little time as Maben will step in.
They're getting Miller loose.
Cameron in the ball game is 0 for 3. His ground ball back in the 5th advanced a runner. In tied at third base, Ramirez. Ball 1 high. That'll get back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Maben. 6-game hitting streak going for Cameron. Big day yesterday, scored 4 runs. He has been terrific at home this year. Came in batting .386 in this ballpark, but see his numbers with runners in scoring position, almost 400.
That sounds good.
Inside and high, 2-1.
Looking ahead right here. Andrew Miller warming up in the pen for the Tribe, and Miggy's 2 for 4. Victor Martinez 0 for 5. JD Martinez 1 for 4. Nobody with any damage yet.
Ooh, a strike call that Maben can't believe. And if it caught any of the strike zone, it caught just a smidge.
It's above the zone.
Yeah, he just yanked it down.
When you see Perez yank that down, watch the catcher.
Zoop. And yesterday, Maben was actually thrown out after being called out on strikes from the bench. He kept jawing. That went way too high.
Well, you think we're going to see Miggy versus Shaw?
Not if those numbers are something that Terry Francona is considering.
So he might go with the 2 for 4 option off of Andrew Miller.
3-2 on Maben.
In these type of games, you get into these situations right here. The gum chewing picks up a little bit, as you can see Tito.
I'm not sure that's possible with Francona. And from the get-go, he's digging into that gum barrel.
Yeah, but he gets a little quicker, a little bigger.
Chopper right back up the middle. Lindor, quick throw is in time, and the runner will advance to third. Maben barreling down the line, one gone.
Pretty good play by the young shortstop right here. He knows he's got to catch the ball first. You see the good hands. Good throw. Takes a little extra time, and that's going to be it for Brian Shaw. Comes a tall, lanky lefty.
So about a high leverage situation as you can find, and Miller will come in. Shaw is done and will be back. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Tigers down 5-3. They are threatening, though, here in the bottom of the seventh. Cabrera is coming up with a man at third base, and there is Andrew Miller.
Big, tall guy, 66 games. You see he's got 23 holds. This is with the Yankees and Cleveland. A whip of less than 115 strikeouts, 9 walks. That's not a mistake. That's the real numbers right there. And he started him off with the slider. And you see by inning, 6th inning, 1 time, 7th inning, 8 times, 8 times in the 8th, 5 in the 9th, once an extra inning. So he'll be used whenever. 96 with the fastball. You can see the cross body throw. And the slider, it looks like it's coming down the middle, then it just takes off right towards your shinberg.
Indians gave up 4 minor leaguers to get Miller. Bouncing ball left side deep in the hole. Lindor can't get it. Base hit. That'll score a run. Second RBI of the night for Miguel Cabrera, 5-4.
Miggy's now 3 for 5 off Andrew Miller. Let's take a look at this sequence right here. Pitch by pitch, slider to start him off. Goes the hard fastball in. Then you got the fastball in. Right off the label, but Miggy's a strong kid. That'll score Ian Kinsler. Tigers trail by 1, and Miggy's still on first base with 1 down.
Now Victor Martinez.
3 for 5 now with a double and 2 strikeouts.
That run is charged to Shaw, and a strike called on Victor. 5-4 ball game.
Miggy now with a couple hits, couple RBI.
Single, 2 ground balls for Victor. One of them a double play. That is rolled foul right behind Dave Clark. 0-2. More action in the Tigers' pen. Alex Wilson. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Strike 3 is dropped by Perez. But Victor is out of there, and there are 2 gone.
Let's take a look at Big Boy's big play of the game. JD Martinez, second inning, bottom of the second inning. B. Martin and JD take a 2-strike bullet. That was caught yesterday to end the game. Today, though, got the big 2-run home run. Tied the game in the second inning. Now Tigers trail by 1, looking for another here. Hit .314 on the season with 22 home runs. Andrew Miller's thrown all pitches inside since he's come into the game and threw that one away. JD had no idea that that would ever be out there. Look how far that catcher gets up underneath there. Just missed it. Left that ball out over the plate further than this catcher Perez wanted it.
So Miller now is ahead of the count 0-2.
There's a slider.
Swing and a miss, and he got him with it, and that will end the inning. However, the Tigers get a run. RBI single by Cabrera. It's now a 5-4 ball game. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
The 1-800 call Sam call of the game back in September 27, 1987. We were down right here in this game. We come back. They hit a home run. Then we hit a little blooper. Jim Whalewander comes around to score. Now that put us 2.5 back. That was a Sunday. We came back and swept the Blue Jays the next weekend. Won 98 games, lost 64, got into the playoffs. The Twins, however, took us on and beat us and won the World Series. Look at the Brewers won 91 games and they were 7 back. It's kind of a tough division there. But you know, I believe we beat the Twins something like what the Indians have beat us this year, and they come back and beat us. So anything can happen.
Right.
Tigers got to keep it close right here. They trail by 1, 5-4, with 2 innings to go. Pitcher's job. They got to You got to keep the score where it is. Alex Wilson in his 61st game. He's throwing great for the Tigers all year. 49 strikeouts, 21 walks. He's kind of an Andrew Miller type guy. He pitches anywhere. He's started, he's closed. He's been a long guy, short guy, matchup guy.
By the way, you almost broke a windshield with that home run you hit over there in Toronto.
Actually, we'd hit several that day. The wind was blowing in straight away from right field in Exhibition Stadium. And why that one went out, I'm not sure. Tom Hinkie was throwing. He threw high fastballs, which I didn't hit very good. So I grabbed Bill Matlock's black bat. He said it's light. And it worked. So I had a bomb and then a bloop. We went on to win that, so we were 2.5 back. And you know, the night before we were 3.5 back. We were very disappointed, and I said something to the media like we just set the biggest bear trap of all time, and little did we know it worked out.
Oh boy, did it.
That's why you.
Ooh, Ramirez in pain now on the ground. He may have gotten that one on the leg or the knee.
Off the foot. See that little cut piece?
Oh, it is foot.
Right off the big toe. Gonna have some turf toe in there. Oh, he wears a pad too, but he doesn't have one down there. Gotta walk it off.
Ramirez, Chisenhall, and Crisp. Here in the 8th inning, Tigers down by a run. Ramirez trying to shake off the pain.
That's not the first one he's hit off there this year. When you get to this part of the season, you've hit several. Probably off your shin or off your toe. This will be another one down and in probably. See if he can't do it again. Make sure if he does hit it, he can't run.
How difficult is it to concentrate now with that throbbing foot?
Yeah, well, you just got to deal with it. Just take a deep breath, and like I said, the Tigers are probably going to go back down in there.
2-2 on Ramirez. In the air to center field. Maben is on the run, still going back. Cameron will get there. 1 out.
Well, that's not where he wanted it. Made a little mistake. This kid Ramirez has swung the bat well all year long. See where he wants it. He wants it down and in there. Leaves it out over the plate. But Cam Maben goes and gets it. That'll be 1 down. Can of corn.
Here is Chisenhall. Alani shoots one foul back out of play. Tigers have 10 hits in this game, and the Indians have only 5, but it's the Tribe with a 1-run lead. Tigers have stranded 7 in the ball game tonight. Chisenhall is 0 for 3.
Get out of this inning and just be a good one for the Tigers to come back. Get K-Rod back on the mound. Get him headed in the right direction. Gain a half a game on Baltimore and move on to the next day.
Frankie trying to shake off the effects of that Saturday blown save here against KC. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chisenhall.
Yeah, that one had to sting a little bit. As many games as he's thrown, though, he knows how to get rid of it better than anybody.
Pulled foul right back toward the Indians dugout. Sent them scattering out there. It almost picked off Lindor, who went right back to his perch, and now he's being told you might want to leave that area. But that's his spot. Ball high, and the count now on Chisenhall, 2-2.
Well, now with the dugouts, you have the bars in there. So in the olden days, there was nothing in front, so you could sit back in the seat and see. Nowadays, you got to get behind the screen. But it didn't seem like it was any big deal when they had no screen until they put these in there now. And,
yeah.
And the eyes aren't quite as good. They get over there quick. I don't think there's a stadium without them now. There used to be. Maybe Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure.
They probably have one up there, a fence.
I would assume they're probably uniform around Major League Baseball to make sure for protection. I would think they all have them. That dives low, and the count now goes 3-2 on Chisenhall.
Looking for another ground out. He's got a fly ball to the center and 2 ground outs. Let's make it 3.
(5-4) Indians have the lead. Run the 8th. 3-2 is whistled foul. Back in the seats.
Tigers just living inside on Chisenhall. They just keep it in there, keeping it in there. He's now starting to make some adjustments, but not able to keep it fair.
First of 4 between these two squads. The Indians need just 1 win in the series to clinch the Central. Popped up, shallow left field for Upton. 2 gone. Here's our game summary tonight. Buck Farmer went 5, allowing 4 hits, 4 earned runs. He threw 91 pitches tonight. And well, Corey Kluber had to leave the game after 4 with right groin tightness tonight.
And J.D. Martinez with the 2-run home run in the 2nd to tie it up, and he'll be leading off the inning for the Tigers in the bottom of the 8th.
Now Crisp, who has a 2-run shot. He hit it off Farmer back in the 2nd. Ball 1. Only 5 Indians hits in this game, but 2 of them homers, 1 by Crisp and 1 by the number 9 hitter, Roberto Perez. Here's the 1-0 to shallow center field, and that ball is going to drop. Base hit. So Crisp, who is now a threat to run, is on with a 2-out single. And it'll bring up Rajai Davis. Davis came on as a pinch hitter for Naquin in the 6th and grounded out. This will be his 2nd at bat of the game. Of course, Tigers very familiar with Rajai, a former teammate of theirs.
Got a good attitude, doesn't he?
Great attitude. Always, every single day in the clubhouse, a big smile on his face. Crisp is leaning, and Davis shows bunt.
It looked like he bunted at that.
I'm going to say he pulled it back, but it sure looked like, yeah, now they get the appeal. He went. Dan Bellino made the call. I didn't think that was close.
Started to bunt at it, then he realized it was going to come and get him. Certainly want to keep Rajai out the bases. So he got 41 steals.
He can run.
Good at it. Good technique. Good speed.
The 41 steals by Davis leads the American League. Crisp, of course, has stolen quite a few in his career. Ground ball left side, base hit. That's a single for Rajai Davis, and Crisp will go to second base. 2 on now.
Well, Rajai always seems to be tough on the Tigers when he gets a chance, and this ball's coming in. Barrels it, hit sharply between Iglesias and Ibar. Little 2-out trouble. Tribe man on first and second, with 2 down.
Number 9 hitter now, Roberto Perez, who homered in his last at bat to give the Tribe a 5-3 lead at that point. That was in the 7th. The second hit of the night for Perez. He's got 2 on here with 2 outs. Ball 1, good block by McCann, kept that ball in front of him.
Well, here's where you don't want to throw Roberto Perez. Don't want to get him out over the plate. Went to right center field with the home run last time up. Tigers been trying to throw him in tight. That one got away with the home run.
Only his 3rd of the year. A little bit high. 2 balls, no strikes.
Boy, fans really give it to Trip Gibson.
They are, man. They're all over him on that pitch. Wilson ready with a 2-0. Strike call, 2-1. Tigers had Justin Wilson in the 7th. They had Kyle Ryan to throw 1-2-3 6th. The only run, the home run by Perez, given up by the bullpen tonight. Now the 2-1. Slice to center field. That's going to get down a base hit. Maven charging. He's going to unload it to the plate. It's going to be cut off. A 2-out RBI single by the number 9 hitter Perez, who was having himself a night. Three straight 2-out hits.
Yeah, it hurts. Those balls are out over the plate, and Perez having a career day right here. Just a bad pitch, and he's staying back well. You got to give him some credit. Cam Maven has no shot right here at home. Coco Crisp scores easily.
Singles by Crisp and Davis, and then Perez, who has his 3rd hit, 2nd RBI of the night. And once again, a 2-run lead for the Tribe. Here is Santana. Runner breaks to 3rd. Here comes the throw. Rajai dives in. Ball dropped. Ibar cannot hold on to it. Davis steals 3rd. It looked like they were going to get him.
Yeah. I don't know how the ball came out. No, his helmet hit him on the hand or something. So he's just timing him. It looked like.
I've never had it.
Yeah, just didn't get in. Perez did not advance, so you still have 1st and 3rd.
Oh, and 1 is the count on Santana. Santana infield single, scored a run in the 5th. He also has a walk tonight. Now the 0-1. In the air to right field. Coming over toward the corner is J.D. Martinez. He dropped it. It is a fair ball. And they're going to call it a ground rule double. Apparently J.D. made contact with it in fair territory. And the Indians will get another run.
Well, from here that looked like that ball was foul.
Did to me too. And the Tigers take another look. Let's see.
No, it was fair.
Clearly made contact in fair territory. Yep. That's going to be another run for the Indians. Right off the edge of the glove.
Yeah, well, he's running over there and he's got the wall coming up quickly. Maybe you take your eyes off, you take a peek. Just hit off the tip of his little finger right there. He's unable to secure it. The umpire's going to do the right thing. Come over here, take a look to make sure. I do not think they'll reverse that, though.
Now there is one positive for the Tigers, and that the ball bounced into the seats, and it was a ground rule double, so only one run came in if this stands.
Take a look right here.
Yeah, right there.
See. Now we're shooting that from inside a bit, so it's a different angle, but I don't think they would overturn that.
And here comes the decision. This probably will stand here, and it does. So second and third, another run in. It's now 7-4 Indians.
You give him a double on that? They did.
Still waiting on the ruling on that.
The second baseman, Jason Hernandez.
That'll bring up Kipnis now with runners at second and third. Kipnis had an RBI double earlier in the game. Pops it up. Third base side, Ibar coming in. And the wind is taking it. Oh, and Ibar struggled with that. So that'll end the inning, but 2 runs in for the Indians. They extend their lead. Ibar struggled with it, but held on. Abraham Almonte will take over in left field for the Indians, who scored a pair of runs in the top half of the 8th. And it's going to be Justin Upton, Eric Ibar, James McCann up here in the bottom of the 8th.
Is that J.D. Upton there? Guess I let that game get away from me there. It was bad scorekeeping. My bad.
Not J.D. Martinez, but Justin Upton to start things off. And Miller is still out there, so he came on in the 7th, got a couple of strikeouts after giving up an RBI single.
And the Cleveland Indians going after it. Miller remains in the game. They replace Coco Chris with Almonte out there going with their best defender.
It'll dive in for a strike, and the counter is 0-2 on Upton. Justin, 2 strikeouts and a walk in this game. Thought about it, didn't go after it. 1-2. Crisp out of the ball game now. Almonte taking over, but Coco had a big hit in that inning. He got it started with a 2-out single.
Yeah, Ramirez on a fly out to center, Chisenhall to left, then Coco with a single, Davis with a single, Perez with another single, double by Santana. Did they give him an error?
They gave him an error on that.
An error on that.
No RBI.
Kipnis flied out, so they tacked 2 on the board.
Now the 1-2. Ground ball, left side of the infield, scooped up by Ramirez. What else is going on around the big leagues, Skip?
Yeah, let's look at, we got Miami 7-2. New York's come back 7-3 over Toronto. That makes it interesting. Seattle 2-1 over Houston, top 7. So again, these things are, you want to win your games and you need to win your games. Tigers may still win this game. They continue to fight. They've been going through this for 3 days, but probably thought Toronto was going to take care of New York, didn't you?
I did. Especially at home.
Now the wild card standings as they stand going into tonight. Tigers 1.5, Seattle 2.5. Andrew Miller continues to pound that slider underneath those righties' hands.
If you're a right-handed batter, I mean, what can you do with that pitch?
Try and take it, but you don't recognize it. You're telling themselves to take it. That's what you call a late break. Looks like a heater. He's just got it down. That's a Randy Johnson type slider right there.
Great comparison.
Ron Guidry had the same thing. Steve Carlton. When they get that going, there's so much velo on it too. There's no hump in it. Can't see the spin until it's too late. 2 up, 2 down for the Tigers.
Well, these are the types of situations that the Indians went out and got Andrew Miller for. He got a couple of big strikeouts in the 7th of V-Mart and J.D. Martinez. 2 outs for McCann. 0-1. And then along with that slider is the 95-mile-an-hour heater. Big Bruce warming up. Fouled away, no balls, 2 strikes on McCann.
You look for that slider, and Andrew Miller comes with 94 to 96, 97 fastball. You see the ball coming in, you pretty much want to tell yourself to try and take it. But he throws the fastball in there well. That doesn't break off the plate.
Another souvenir.
James hit a lot of balls off the end of the bat tonight, hasn't he?
Well, the one he hit early in the game to I think that was the one in the 2nd inning. He flared one out there. No, that was with the bases loaded in the 4th. Right off the end of the bat, it wasn't nearly deep enough to score the run. That turned out to be a big at bat. And he got him, strike 3. McCann did not like it.
Backdoored him.
Andrew Miller putting on a show, retiring 5 in a row, 4 of them via the strikeouts. We go to the 9th. 3 outs to go. Here come the Indians as we go to the top of the 9th. Game and a half separation between the Orioles and the Tigers for that second wild card.
So the Tigers, he's calling 163. So who pitches that game, huh?
Well, JV right now scheduled to go the final game on Sunday in Atlanta. That's how it's shaking out.
That'd be Fulmer.
And it would be Fulmer, right? That's what common knowledge would lead you to believe.
Just a good way to solidify that rookie year.
Lindor leads it off against Bruce Rondon. Lindor's had a couple of walks and a sacrifice. He came into this game 0 for his last 25. In the air toward left center field. Upton is on the run for this one. He'll go to the warning track to pull it in. 1 out. Tickets for potential wild card American League Division Series games at Comerica on sale now. Tickets sold exclusively at Tigers.com. Get yours.
Blue Jays got some action in their bullpen. Indians. Cody Allen, right-handed pitcher, he's throwing the ball pretty good as well.
He is the Indians closer.
Good fastball slider.
Here is Mike Napoli. Sac fly RBI for Napoli. That happened back in the 5th. Another strike on the outer edge. Just about the same spot. Napoli thinking that was a little bit wide.
Yeah, Bruce is throwing the ball well as of late. Remember, he's come a long way in 1 year. He got sent home early last year. Really learning how to throw that slider with much more accuracy and consistency. So he's got really 2 good pitches. Of course, he's got the 100-mile-an-hour if he wants it.
Tomahawk that thing out of play.
And this is where Napoli really gets on top of the balls. High in the zone with lots of velo. Not many guys can do that. It's important for the Tigers to hold the Tribe at 7 runs. It's 7-4 now. Obviously, every run counts when you're down to your last 3 outs.
Here's the 0-2.
A little 98 for you right there. So that ball's getting there quite a bit quicker than what you're seeing at 90, 92. Probably 4 feet quicker.
Reaction time a whole lot less. A little bit outside, tried to throw a bender in there, but it missed the zone.
Bruce tried to encourage Trip Gibson, tried to take a little walk off like that was going to be called a strike, but was not.
The 100 RBIs, 101 actually, counting the 1 tonight, a career high for Napoli. Missed again.
It's off the plate. It's a good call. Fans don't like it. I think Napoli would be sitting dead red right here. Get you a good breaking ball, breaking on, starting on the plate, and then breaking off. You'll get him. He's going to be sitting high heater right here. James wanted the curveball, but Rondon wants the fastball in.
It's in all right, but it's in tight, and now the count fills 3-2. Busted that one inside upper 90s.
Those are all balls. They're not even close.
Look at the look on Rondon's face. All right.
Well, if you're watching the game all game, you've seen balls not quite that far be called strikes, but he's got these right.
And he ends up walking him, throwing a breaking ball in the dirt. It's a 1-out base on balls.
The third baseman,
Now Bruce just yanked that one and tried to overthrow it. Spiked it right into the ground.
That is 6 walks now for Tigers pitching tonight. Jose Ramirez will step in, not before McCann goes out to the mound. Here's the matchup coming up tomorrow, presented by Gordon Chevrolet. You've got Mike Clevenger and Justin Verlander in game 2.
Well, Clevenger's done a pretty good job for the Tribe. Their starting rotation is shortened. They've lost a couple. Carrasco. Justin Verlander's been the Tigers' most consistent starter all year. He's thrown the ball very well, 15-8 on the year. Look at the strikeouts, the walks, well over 200 strikeouts a game. He's going to be well over 200 innings. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. We'll be on at 7.
Who did Clevenger look like in that picture to you?
I didn't look. Who was it?
Young Tim Lincecum with the hair flowing all the way down the shoulders.
The Freak, they called him.
The Freak, yep. Well, Tigers will be leaning on JV tomorrow. Here is Ramirez. Grounded foul down the first base line.
Tell you, this Cleveland team, they really keep coming at you. Scored 1 in the 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. Got a guy on base here. They work you hard.
Well, that 8th inning, probably the best example of that. With 2 outs, nobody on, they had 3 straight hits and then an error, and they got a couple of runs all of a sudden. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
They could have got out of that inning probably with 1 run. Error hurt him, gave up a couple more. They gave it 1 more.
And they will chase Napoli back to first base. Ramirez does not have a hit tonight, but he does have a run scored, reaching on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd.
Hit a ball off his foot on a foul ball, so he's a little tender. See if the Tigers don't try and go back down in there.
In the air to shallow left field in his tracks is Upton, and that is the 2nd out. Napoli retreats. We'll bring up Chisenhall. Tigers have more action. Mark Lowell warming up.
Would that be the 5th pitcher for the Tigers?
Tigers started with Buck Farmer. They had Kyle Ryan, Justin Wilson, Alex Wilson, Bruce Rondon.
That's 6. See 5.
Indians separated themselves from the pack in the month of June. They were 22-6 that month. And to their credit, despite some really big injuries to the rotation, Salazar is done for the regular season. Carrasco as well. I mean, those are 2/3 of really an outstanding staff. There's Danny.
Good contributions though from those. Their depth.
Also lost their catcher, Yan Gomes. High pop up, shallow left field, Upton and Iglesias, Upton, and that is that. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cody Allen coming in a 3-run game.
as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last try for the Tigers, and Corey Kluber, the ace of the Indians staff. 4th inning. Look right here on this play. You see him. Just keep an eye on him right there. He grabs his right groin a little bit, and he was removed after 4 innings. Bullpen has done a good job for the Indians. Otero, Shaw, Miller so far have held the Tigers down. And now coming into the game, they've got their closer, Cody Allen. 64th game this year, 29 out of 32 on the save opportunities, 2.67 on the ERA, 82 strikeouts, 26 walks. And Tigers have gotten to him earlier in the year, but they'll have a task to do that tonight.
Well, Andrew Miller did the heavy lifting getting through the 7th of the 8th, and now Allen comes on here in the 9th. He will have Iglesias, then the top of the order, Kinsler and Maben. 3-run game. Iglesias is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. And the bottom of the 9th is underway. Ball 1 high.
Yeah, Cody Allen, when I've seen people get to him, when the Tigers have success when he doesn't have his location just like anybody else. So that could be a good sign if he walks somebody, gets his leadoff man on, gets this rally started.
He'll take a strike. Iglesias showing bunt, taking all the way. Seven runs, 8 hits for the Indians. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Tigers. Ball too low, 2-1.
Tigers need to get 2 on, get that tying run to the plate.
Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
That's been called a strike from time to time. The zone's getting tightened up a little bit. Tigers will take it.
In there, a strike called. Man, Iglesias spinning out of the way. It looked a little inside.
Tried to sell it a little bit.
Gibson not buying.
Well, I think the catcher just caught it wrong as well, and Iglesias jumping out of the way made it look worse than maybe it was.
Andrew Miller facing a total of 6 batters. He struck out 4 of them. Cody Allen in his last 11 games, no earned runs in 12 innings.
We need to get him back to that previous 11 games where he gave up 10 and 9 2/3.
All the way again. This is what Iglesias will do to you. He did it to Shaw in the 6th inning, battling and battling and battling before he finally got called out on a questionable pitch.
It looks like Allen and the Indians, they're just going to go with the fastballs. Iglesias is not going to hit it out of the park. They don't want to walk him.
Iglesias protecting again, sends it back out of play. 3-2. That second at bat, 13 pitches.
22 and 3. That's over 7 pitches per at bat.
This will be the 9th pitch in this at bat. Hammering away.
95 cheese right there. Kinsler due up next. He's got pretty good numbers off of Cody Allen.
Iglesias just has tremendous hand-eye coordination.
Well, he does it both at the plate and in the field.
To right field. And it's going to be caught on the run by Chisenhall.
Hit it well. Couldn't find a gap.
No. That'll bring up Kinsler, 1 out.
Pretty good jump there by Chisenhall. Jose just doesn't have that kind of pop to be going oppo. But good at bat. That'll leave it up to Ian Kinsler.
No oppo popo.
No. Well, he doesn't need that. We need 2 runners. We need to get Kinsler and Maben on now. Kinsler hit .375 off Cody Allen in his career.
Ian takes ball 1.
Looks like the Tigers are taking a pitch, maybe a strike.
And they will take a strike. There it is. Allen 29 out of 32 in save situations. Here's the 1-1. Way outside, 2-1.
And one of the other things about this, you know, why do you take a pitch when you're down by 3 runs? You might say, this guy's nasty. I don't want to give a free strike. But you also put the pressure on him to throw a strike. You know that his mindset is, I can't walk this guy.
Bouncing ball right side, and right there is Kipnis. And there are 2 gone.
Well, just looking at the Central standings, Tigers back 7. See the wild card, we're 1.5, Seattle 2.5. Cleveland with the win tonight clinches the playoff berth. Now the only thing left to be decided is who's going to have home field advantage amongst the division winners throughout the playoffs.
Well, Allen still has to get 1 more out here. Cameron Maybin 0 for 4 in this game. There's a strike on 1. Maybin has put everything on the ground tonight with the exception of the strikeout in the first inning. Swing and a miss, trying to hold up, and now the Indians are 1 strike away from clinching the Central Division.
Nasty slider right there, disappeared.
Here's the 0-2. Maybin takes high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Very loud Indians crowd here, huh?
Yeah, they're hanging out behind the Indians dugout. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Cleveland Indians are champions of the Central Division in 2016. Their first Central Division championship since 2007.
Well, they deserve it. They played well throughout the year. Lots of charges. Tigers have taken a run at them a couple times. Kansas City as well. But they've stuck together and executed very well in these games. And the big thing is they've controlled the Tigers now 14-2 on the year, and that's you've got to play good within your division. They've done that, and that's why they're the champions of their division.
Final score tonight from Comerica: Cleveland 7 and the Tigers 4. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. Mickey York standing by with Tigers Live postgame.